right, one second. And we're good. Okay. What's poppin', Tub Nation? Welcome back to Tub Takes. This is a video podcast where we go over what's been making waves in the VGC scene. Today I am joined by Rajan.
Hello, and welcome to the channel.
We've also got Sohaib.
Hi, guys.
And we got James.
Yellow.
Got lots to talk about. We got some Hartford attendees. I think last week we had nobody that was going to Hartford or something like that. Now we have 3 people that actually went to the event. And yeah, we're going to be going over those, Hartford, of course, Malmo, Buenos Aires, Pokemon Home, a bit about the Asian tournaments like Japan and Korea, what's happening there, a little update on that, and then answering your questions as well. So, feel free to leave any questions in the chat. This is also going to be uploaded on YouTube on Wednesday, so in 2 days from now, it'll be there. So if you can't stay for the whole stream, feel free to dip out and check it out on the YouTube channel later. And I'll remind you guys at the end, too. With that, though, let's go ahead and launch into the actual show here. Starting off with our first topic, talking about Japan Nats, an update on that. Oh, I just realized I have the wrong link open. I'm supposed to have the meme. Oh, let me say something about this meme, though. This meme is going to get no likes because it has, like, my Twitch link and whatever. This meme was too good. It was too good to announce a stream with, but unfortunately, here we are. It's going to be a... What is this? What is this at? 46 likes? So dead.
I liked it.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't like it because
okay.
It's a spoiler. I haven't seen the movie.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's a spoiler. Like, I mean, like... it was pretty messed up for him to just blow. He was pretty much to just throw the plot out there.
You didn't know that Landorus and Thunderous were in the movie?
yeah. Urshifu wins Worlds. That's the spoiler. Like,
you're an Ursa loser, bro. I don't need this right now.
Oh my god. So Japan Nats is gonna be the first thing we're gonna be talking about today. I was gonna pull up Ray's YouTube video because he summarized it very well. But we talked about it last week with the whole like structure. You know, they had their 3 global challenges, 150 players from each, into a pool of 450 players playing in an online tournament to qualify for their Japan Nets, and it was going to be the top
already a trash system.
It was already not a great
very
system.
bad.
Then so it was the top 64 out of these 450 players would move on to the live stage, and also they would lock in a day 1 Worlds invite. However, we already knew about the whole fiasco with what happened with Japan Nats on Monday, but Tuesday was when the news on this one hit, so we've known for a bit. You've probably seen word on this on Twitter, but we're talking about it now. They came out and tweeted, or not tweeted, they emailed the players and said, hey, so we're going to run that back in, I believe, 2 weeks. I don't know if Ray says the date or anything, or somebody mentions it. Anyways, I believe it's going to be this coming weekend. I'm not positive, though. If anybody in chat knows, let me know. And, yeah, so they they announced that, yeah, we're going to run that back. We're going to do the top 64 again, making it to the live stage. So it's instead going to be top 128 at the live stage. Okay, yeah, thank you, Randy. It is this coming weekend. And it's going to be, so it's top 128 at the live stage, but still top 64 Worlds invite. So the players that qualified through the silly last tournament that had all kinds of bugs and issues, they at the very least had the solace, like, I've got a Worlds invite. That was stupid. That was brutal. And now it's actually been, taken away. They have to earn it again.
I just really want to post this image that I made immediately after Ray tweeted out his thing.
Did you tweet it? Otherwise, I might be able to pull it up.
I tweeted it here.
Oh, okay, yeah. Look me the tweet because I can. Links are easier.
All right, there we go.
Here we go. Stop at. Just got an email from Pokemon. No. Yeah,
it was the first thing like I saw, and I was just like, oh.
Yeah, I actually think I pulled that one up. The trailer's version of it when he said.
Oh yeah, trailer made a version, and I was like, oh, should I tweet this out? I don't know if it's rude or not. And then trailer tweeted it out. I was like, okay, never mind, it's go time. Like.
Well, James, trailer being able to tweet it out does not mean it's not rude when you do it. So
no, Ray liked it. Ray liked it. That's gotta mean something, right?
One, throwing that out there, but 2, I think, Alex, the other thing, it's not like we just run it back. the top 64 from the first one are in the pool. The top 64, then they're gonna have the top 64 from the second one. I don't know if they're gonna have duplicates, what they're gonna do about that, but then they just fight until they're in the top 64 overall for their Worlds invite.
Yeah, I can't remember if the 64 that already qualified will not be allowed to play in this online competition this coming weekend. If it's actually going to be some weird number like 386. Or
but
something.
Under like just the way like the track record, I bet they will be. And
then so you're saying that the idea might be to grief some spots, take them away from people, so that you're more likely.
I mean, like, I don't know what that does to the math.
Cancel them out.
Yeah.
I do think it's weird though, because please tell me if I'm insane or not, but like, hasn't like every Japan Nats like prior to this one always been like something along the lines of like top 150 get invited to the actual tournament, like on stage live event, and then from there it's something like top 32 or top 64 get their invites anyways.
Oh wait, their invites. You said they get their invite twice.
Yeah, like I'm saying, like generally what it was prior, like I think in 2019 it was this, like you would qualify through the IC by doing well, and then sometime later it'd be like, okay, you're invited to play in the live event, and you go to the live event, and generally if you didn't make cut, it'd be like something like top 64 gets their day one invite anyways.
I think that sounds familiar.
Or something like that. So basically, like we just went back to the same tournament structure, but worse and with extra steps.
Alex, I need to say that your huge ass is just covering Sohaib in its entirety on the display.
Well, to be fair, the way that it normally works is we normally have the 3 videos, and they push to the top. And
so now he's okay. My bad.
There we go.
Okay.
And so then I get pushed down to the bottom, where on the Twitch I'm covered. So yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Because when he was off camera, I didn't realize that was.
Yeah, if Sohaib turns off his camera, I can't remember what the workaround is to get, but honestly, it wouldn't matter to me too much. I would figure out something. Anyways, so yeah, they're gonna be running it back this weekend, and it's kind of a joke. It's a little bit silly. Very unfortunate, and we didn't mention Korea, which actually had it a bit worse in my opinion. Which
is unbelievable.
It's
not
insane.
But like I think we just need to think about this conceptually just for a minute, okay? Because like just for the fine, okay, they're acknowledging that they had technical issues, and then they did this. They had a very imperfect system, but they had fine, right? Like we haven't. I don't know if we talked about the tournament, like what the issues were that caused this last week, because I didn't tune in, my bad. But like there were a lot of bug issues. You were literally held hostage. You weren't allowed to leave. They just queued it up for you. It's just like, this is an auto queue, baby. You are in this or you're in this. And then because it was an auto queue, it was auto queuing the 2 people who like had just played like every single time. So they kept auto queuing into each other. So you run that shit back. You're like, all right, well, I can't beat Glimdozo. 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 And then you just run that back. And that guy goes, sorry, yeah.
I actually think I watched that like exact scenario happen. Like a Korean player decided to stream their run, and they played like a Glimdozo player. They also had Glimdozo, so it was a mirror match. He lost, queued up again. You would literally see players that you couldn't like not queue up the next game. So what you would have to do is you would have to turn off your entire console or close out of the game, and then restart the game, connect online, and then go back to playing in the tournament. And then you could also realistically just queue up again into the same person if they decide to do the same thing.
And there's a couple things wrong with that too, in that like they only have a limited amount of time to play their games, so that objectively takes some of their time to play away. And also, I don't know, but also you just like don't have like not everyone's gonna know that they're supposed to do that, because like you can just assume that the technical things are like how they're supposed to be, and not be just playing like World's Qualification Groundhog's Day the whole time, right? So like there was a lot of issues, and a lot of people were very pissed about their experience, but the survivors, they're like, all right, well, we did it, we got there anyway, it's okay. So they got told they had a Worlds invite, and then everyone also complained. I don't know what they expected the recourse to be completely honest. like what do? Do you just like have Pokemon send you a plush? Like what is the recourse outside of running it back, right? But
I think
so
the
if I do think there had to be some intelligence there, right? Like if I'm not to be a dick about
Yeah.
it, but like
No,
what
I-
is the recourse?
the recourse is that like they
Can
just
I say
expand it.
something?
Yeah, go ahead. Of
Yeah,
course. So
it's
I
I
think
just
we
like
brought you on the
the,
podcast so that you could say something.
yeah, okay. Yeah, this might be like the
But thank you for asking.
it, it, it would be a hot take, but like
A tub take.
a
Let's
part
go.
of me is
A top
kind of
two.
I'm a little glad that they're redoing it only because like as you guys saw there were some really good players that missed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I felt like if them not being there, the Worlds doesn't have the same like
No,
Like
I agree.
Oh, who
level.
cares?
I agree
Well,
100%.
so giving
I
them a
don't. Who
chance is like something.
cares?
No, okay.
I don't know,
Listen.
man. I like the
Like,
Who
competition.
cares?
No,
Rajan's acting
Right.
like there's no actual good solution, but the solution that I like at least was the very like the people that earn their world's invites keep them, and then
Yeah,
they give everybody else
Yeah.
another chance. Maybe
I agree.
maybe they make it slimmer. Maybe it's only
100%,
top
yeah.
32 in this
I think that's
preview
fine.
tournament.
Like,
But like
Yeah.
okay,
think-
all right. Like, so we get 96 invites. That's okay.
I think
I have no clue.
I think really like I agree like with Sohaib a lot just because I think one of the most notable parts of this whole fiasco is like if you were a player that didn't live in Japan or Korea and you went on Twitter at any point during that whole weekend of like complete trash and like it being a mess, you would see all these Japanese players if you followed any like just straight up doom posting. Like
Mhm.
Naoto Mizoguchi, the 2019 world champion, top cut worlds several times, was literally saying that like he regretted playing because he peaked at worlds and that this was just like a complete mess and like
mhm.
that was insane. Like people were just not happy about it all. Like someone like that could not qualify because the system was that bad. And now they get another chance at least, but it does really go into the sense that like this is a world's held in Japan. There's like a lot of prestige behind it. Like I think personally, this is like going to be the most important worlds of all time, and they're kind of screwing a lot of Eastern players over just by giving them this horrible qualification system. But like on top of that, you like this is another take for another day, but like if Worlds is another format, which is kind of like been undisclosed, but it's like series regulation C ends right after NAIC. So are we getting a new format or not? Like that's not really known about, but if it is a new format, and then there's just like, oh yeah, half the players in the country it's being held in aren't even capable of being invited or had to play through a horrible system. It really kind of just goes to show like they didn't really care about it, or like I guess a good way to phrase it would be Mickey Mouse worlds, but like still it's just really depressing.
Can you do air quotes again? I liked it.
Mickey Mouse worlds.
No,
Yeah.
but no, I fully like. Okay, so what I was saying, who cares about, is not that I actually don't think like I do agree that the best like way to do it is to expand the invites, and it is a Japan Worlds, right? It is an Asian Worlds in that respect. So the idea of like not having enough people from like the actual continent in which like the Worlds is on to be able to participate is a little silly. So just like the top 64 system in and of itself is nonsensical. But like I will say in terms of me going like who cares? It's more like let's say there is the system, right? Like let's say that the system was not terrible or like was happening or was just going and like you're like, well, someone missed, that sucks. Like but the system was like everyone at world like it sucks, sure, like the system's terrible. And you think that some players who are better than others should participate on merits, but like they did not satisfy the requirements to attend. And I would say I don't think that like let's say someone who's really sick at it misses out. I don't think they get a free pass like because they're sick at it.
Yeah.
That means the other people's like invites are less valid than theirs just by nature of us thinking they're better. Now, that is that does hinge a little bit on the world's like qualification system not being complete and utter trash. But let's say it was okay and like these people missed anyway. It's like, all right, well, you missed anyway. Like that blows.
It is a little bit silly because
But
go ahead,
my reason is like, oh yeah, sorry. I just feel like if okay, like the system we agree is trash, but like all these bugs and all of this like crap, like I feel like that's what like if that wouldn't have happened and they didn't qualify still, then I would be like, okay, they didn't deserve it
Okay.
according to their standards, you know?
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
Yeah.
fair.
I just feel
That-
like this is such an unfair thing to like Like meanwhile, like in North America, we have players that just go to every regional, everything, and they don't even like they shouldn't even have worlds invite. Like if they were in Japan, so it's like I don't know.
I
It's
get
just
what you're
Well,
really
saying. Like
unfair.
when I was kind of leading into the point I was going to make, is just when you're attending like the Hartford regionals this past weekend, I
Yeah.
know like you're not
I
your
didn't
whole
go.
world your whole world's your whole world's invite isn't on the line for just this one tournament. You have
Right.
other tournaments. You have the option to
Yeah.
attend more tournaments later in the season. Having it just be a one shot thing is just such a silly system. And
Yeah.
that's clearly. And I also do
Fully agree with
uh,
that.
I agree with what Sohaib was saying in that, like, yeah, the bugs are a major thing. I know one player went 9-1, which was like a really crazy, like, good record, good enough to qualify. But one of their games was a disconnect, and they didn't realize it because the game count didn't show, and you have to play 10 games minimum. So they actually only played.
Oh,
9.
that's rough.
And so
Yeah.
they were crushing it. And so it's just like
So
there are very deserving players that were robbed of the chance, and so it is a good thing that they are going to give those players a second shot. It's just a little unfair to those players that did make it through.
no, I'm pushing back again. I don't care. I'm pushing back again.
Oh my gosh.
So the reason I'm pushing back is because everyone who qualified for that tournament is just like has their shot at Worlds. Their chance to participate is just as important.
Mhm.
Just because a player is better than another player, if they have entered into whatever this clown show qualification system is of however many people who get to ladder up for the chance at top 64, every person who messed up, like missed out because of bugs, has just as important of a world's qualification. And I don't feel
Oh, yeah.
especially bad for XYZ top player missing it, and don't also feel the same bad for XYZ player we don't know, but who had their one shot and were working at it really hard, right? So that's where I'm like, I don't care
Your
about
take
like a
is so
specific
silly,
person in it.
man. I'm just using it as an example of somebody who got robbed. There were people that got robbed in many different
Yeah.
ways. So
Yeah.
It's
No,
it's
I
easier.
just do not feel bad.
It's easier to
about
put a
specific
face.
people.
You're a
It's
weirdo.
easier to put a face to the problem when it's like Ray Rizzo and not like Craig, who's been playing for like 3
Craig
days.
is a common
Yeah, but
Japanese
Craig
name.
desered it.
Craig
Yeah,
is
I'm not saying that Craig didn't deserve
How
it, but
can we
like
say he deserved it though?
Dude, Craig
How
is a
can you say
very
Ray did,
common
right?
Japanese
Like,
name. I have
I mean,
to
he
say.
did because he qualified. But like, I just mean any person, you know.
No,
All
no,
the
I
folks who
totally-
missed deserved it just as much.
Yeah, but like I'm just saying TPCI wouldn't. Unfortunately, let's be real here. TPCI definitely wouldn't care if Craig missed the event. But like, if they saw that Ray Rizzo made a big stir about it and then went to Twitter and said just got an email from Pokemon, they would kind of be freaking out. Like, oh wait, maybe we did something wrong.
I'm really sorry if your name is Craig in the chat. You're just
Yeah,
getting
I'm
roasted
sorry,
right
Craig.
now. But I mean, regardless, the system sucks, and the way that they're doing it, which is just like actually, Teehee, you didn't qualify, is pretty remarkably bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's not like a lot more to say, like on the whole like quality of this. We're all going to say
It's trash.
it was bad. Thank you for the sub, Draco Jack. Welcome to Sub Nation. Anyway,
Rip Craig indeed.
Craig, Craig, poor Craig.
Do we know any top playing Craigs?
I don't know.
I don't know. I couldn't name one.
You know what?
Except,
Can you look up names on that Limitless VGC site?
Oh my god.
Are you really gonna search Craig now?
All right, hold on. If I go in there and I
can't.
search Alex, do Alexes come up? Yes, they do. All right, Craig. Oh no. All right,
No Craig?
I've got your answers, Rajan. Limitless VGC search results for Craig. None.
Oh
This
no.
legit
wow.
no Craig. You actually just pulled the name.
There's no Craig. Wow.
Yeah, let's go.
One
You legit-
Rajan.
Let's go.
Couple Alexes, but for Craig,
Pick
You
the,
actually-
we got
pick the
no
one name.
Craigs.
You pulled the one name who's never played VGC before.
Well, this is only NA events, and we were clearly talking about Craig playing in Japan.
That's
Yeah,
true.
Craig in Japan.
Craig is a Japanese not top player because he's representing the people.
The people's champ.
Okay, so guys, guess what? Pokemon Home was announced, and this is hype, and we're all
Oh, boy.
so excited for Pokemon Home. It's coming, and we're finally.
Oh, is it?
We're gonna get to free all of these guys. The genies are coming back. The Hisuians are coming. Urshifu, everybody loved that guy. Glastrier, that guy's cool too. Wow, I love it. Pokemon Home. This is such big news. And the next bit of news we have, because I think it's an important thing to add, is that Pokemon Home is not coming. And
Oh no!
Dude, the intern got murdered. Like
Yeah.
we always some friends of mine who play some other games. So like whenever like there's notifications for those games, we just like talk about the poor intern is just getting smashed by like big Konami or big
This poor
Pikachu in that
dude.
moment. This poor intern who just launched this tweet too quickly. It's just like not having it right now.
So Sakagam, to answer your question, you don't think they would have been legal this year either way, right? We don't know. The thing is as we were talking about earlier, the Worlds format has not been announced. Regulation C currently runs until like literally in the middle of NAIC, which is like the end of June, or not the end. The end of June. And they did already confirm that, of course, NAIC is going to be just Regulation C through the whole tournament. But regulation at some point before June, Regulation D has to be announced, I guess.
Yeah.
You would think. And Regulation D might just be Regulation C. It might be.
Is it gonna be Regulation D or Series 4? Which one are they doing?
True,
I'm calling it Series 4.
It would be so funny if they go back to Series 4.
They're like, all right, guys, that didn't work. That didn't work. It was clearly hated. Let's just go back.
Series D.
Series D.
Ooh.
And so, it could be Paldean Prologue or whatever. It could be, if Home is released, it could be the Home Mons. There's like all kinds of different things that people are theorying, but nothing's been confirmed. So if Home comes out before then, I think it's an option. And so, we will probably see this before before like
I think
Nats and stuff, before NAIC, but it is currently delayed. And so I'm there's lots to talk about we can theory how good Ursaluna is going to be in VGC, but that's not coming yet. So
yeah, that's right, Lexar. It is in fact just the first instinct.
I think the way it works is that according to this is like why Walking Wake and Iron Leaves aren't allowed in the format either, but I believe it's any Pokemon with a Paldean Pokedex number.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not sure if the Hisuian Pokemon are going to have a Dex number. I don't know if it's in the game data or not. Like you can look at the game data and see like a couple things. You can see like what Pokemon are returning. Like obviously for Home, or like what's going to be in the DLC apparently. But I would say, like, I think no matter what, this has like pretty big ramifications, because if you want my personal theory, I think this is not a mistake at all. I think it actually was supposed to come out like on May 24th. Just something happened, almost like a entire part of the circuit or something like exploded, and there was a big drama thing, and they needed to put like all their programming onto fixing that, and making a last minute tournament for it because they had to redo the qualification system. Or something like that. I don't really know.
Or maybe they
like,
just wanted to get everybody's attention away from.
Yeah.
Well, this is just more bad news.
Hey,
they thought they were using Follow Me, and they ended up using Spotlight.
A little bit.
I didn't know. So I don't know what Regulation D, Series 4, Series D could be besides the Home Mons, really, because I think Paldean Prologue, after learning what that was over the weekend, is terrible and stupid and just kind of like, I mean, I don't really have anything else to say about that. Sounds dumb. Like get your Miraidons, everybody.
Miraidon Torkoal on every team.
I just get those guys going. Miraidon's the electric train one, isn't it?
Yeah, so you have both for the Paradox Pokemon instead of.
That's silly.
Correct.
So then like I don't think there is a format besides either just add the Hisuian Mons or add all the Home Mons. And I was like really like doom posting earlier this year about like, can you imagine like Terra Dark Urshifu or like Terra Water Urshifu Surging Strikes, or just like giving these guys their things and just saying die, or like Terra Flying Lando or like whatever it is. Like it sounds awful, right? But like this format's trash too. So maybe we need Lando and Urshifu and like whatever to like have other Mons to compete with Fluttermane.
Yeah, I have been of the same opinion that the Paradox Pokemon feel like a national dex level of power.
Yeah.
Whereas this is technically a regional dex, but the only format that felt like a regional dex was Series 1.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's I would say this format feels, it feels similar to Ultra Series, just like by the structure of I would say we had Regulation A, Regulation B, I just keep calling them Series 1 and 2. And then we have this format, which kind of feels like it's been going on for a little longer, even though I think it's the same amount of time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But like if we do get it at Worlds, it will be like similar to Ultra Series, where it really feels like the beginning of the format isn't like as influential as it should be. Like if you looked at Ultra Series, like most of what was viable by the time Worlds and NAIC happened wasn't really viable post Worlds. And it kind of feels like we're in the same situation, but a little sped up right now. Like we'll talk about the metagame later, but it kind of feels that way to me. Just by like oh, we're gonna add more and more, just on top of each other. So like you get Paradox Pokemon, then you get Treasures of Ruin, and now you have all these very powerful Pokemon that are kind of going around the format, kind of similar to like, oh, we added Z-moves, we added Mega Stones, and now you get to like have fun with all of these things, except it's kind of just like a mess right now.
One
Lex,
thing I
to
just
answer
wanna
your
say is,
question,
like-
I know Rajan already responded to it in the chat, but yeah, Series 6 did ban the top 10 mons in usage. Like
It's so
both
funny.
across singles and doubles, it was weird. Like we couldn't use Hippowdon
that was
in
so
doubles.
bad.
Free Hippowdon.
Hippowdon was banned, but it was
My
definitely
God.
not a top 10 doubles Pokemon at the time.
Hippo's popping off right now, though. It's been here this whole time.
True.
Like, it knows what to do.
This is Hippo's year. But
It's time.
that format
you want
was
to
like,
you want to beat Sun, but you don't want to use T-Tar. You know what to do.
I think that I've given this take before, but I think that format like is it's just not real. Like at the I don't know if I think it was because of a mistake, but it was supposed to be the format we were using to qualify for Players Cup 2. I don't remember the
Oh my
number. I'm gonna
God.
say 2.
my
But instead they messed up and made the online qualifier that everybody already signed up for, Series 5, the format before. And so we never actually played any official tournaments. This was, of course, during the pandemic, so there were no live tournaments. Players Cup was the only thing official, and there was
We're just
only
bored the whole
grassroots for
time.
Series 6. So I don't know if that was them saying like, "Hey, top 10 ban. That's a fake format," kind of like how Series 13 was the one that added like the mythicals. That we didn't have any official events in that, so maybe they're like, we can
I
put
played
another
some
fake
Whack-A
format
World Tour sets in that format.
in which one, Series
Whack-A
13?
World Tour.
Yeah,
Are
I
those
did
ones
do
are
that.
sanctioned by TPCI, right?
Yeah, and
Okay.
also just so you know, Series 6 is a special thing because the one grassroots was won by your host, me, Aditya Supermanian.
That's true. I am a Supermaniac. And then another point, bringing it back, talking about what James was talking about, kind of like Regulation C feeling kind of longer than the other ones. It mainly is because of how many majors we've had. I mean, we only had like 2 tournaments for Regulation A. It feels so sad.
Like
Right?
Regulation C has not quite surpassed Regulation B or Series 2 or whatever yet in terms of
Okay.
majors
Well,
held.
it's also the only one that gets 2 internets, right? Like that was kind
Yeah.
of how
It had
Ultra
so
Series
much-
worked too.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
had EUIC and NAIC. Whenever we've had these split up, we only get the 2 internets like in the third, like the
final
third
chapter,
one.
yeah.
Yeah. So that always makes it seem bigger.
Especially
think
if Worlds is in that
Okay.
format.
I think
Just going back to the.
Go ahead, Sohaib.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry,
So,
Kate.
no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're good.
I just want to add this before we get away from.
All right, but can I say
Just for
something?
Regulation D-
Please.
No, sir. It's
I
my
will
time to
disconnect you
speak
from the
now.
call.
No, just for Regulation D, I just want this mon back, please. I feel like
Bro,
this
your
will solve
background's blurred.
so.
What is that guy? Is that Ensign?
I can't see. Come on.
Ensign's
I just want him back.
Ensign has
There
like,
he
like
is.
it has
He
some
will solve the
it has some
whole farm.
censorship.
Like this
can
will
solve everything.
literally make the format balanced. I feel like
So
they should
yeah,
just drop that and that's it, nothing else.
on
No, they should.
God, during the like when we had some folks just at the train station yesterday, we were just talking about that too. Like I think the problem, or at least because I'll take any opportunity, even ones I wasn't provided, to roast this series. I do not like it.
I don't like it.
All right, but you're better than me, so.
I still don't like it.
But like, what the issue is, like as Alex has said, and like the freaking the guys, right? The photosynthesis guys, the paradox guys, they're just too stupid. Like they're just so dumb, and nothing beats
And
them. And they're
boring.
also, I agree that
Yeah.
take 100%. They're boring as hell.
No,
All they
they're
are
really
stat
boring.
blobs. They are stat
It's-
blobs with thingies.
I
None of
think-
them do anything interesting except Screamtail. And Screamtail's interesting, like, is admittedly kind of interesting, but like, that's it. The rest of them stupid.
I think I think Great Tusk is. I think like Screamtail's an interesting one. I think Great Tusk is similar to Kartana, where it's just like I'm gonna try and blow things up Pokemon, but it's got very clear and like defined weaknesses. But like I agree for the most part that most of them are just like Pokemon with very high BSTs that like
Do a
we
thing.
like when the game leaked and we looked at all the BSTs for certain Pokemon, and I was really convinced that like Generation 9 was going to be this like kind of new awakening for Pokemon, where it was like, oh, they really did try to balance these guys. Like they don't have a really good ability, and then you realize they get activated by Sun. Oops. But like for the most part, they're pretty balanced Pokemon, quote unquote, is what I thought. I was like, oh, Treasures of Ruin. They're like, their abilities affect the whole field, not just like the opposing Pokemon. Like it really does feel like they're trying to balance things. That was a lie. They did not balance anything. And it's kind of showing now where like Fluttermane, it's similar to Zacian, where it's a Pokemon with absurdly like high usage for very aggressive Pokemon. Whereas like people will be like, oh well, Incin didn't have, or like Incin had absurdly high usage, and it's like the difference between Incineroar and Fluttermane is like one of them is a very kind of balanced Pokemon that it can do damage, it can play support, but it's not really like super duper duper good at one of those things. It's just kind of a nice middle ground Pokemon. It's got a very good kit for overall like just like being a Pokemon. It's very good at that. It has very clear weaknesses. Like Incin's not gonna fight back against like a Tapu Fini or like a Palafin or something.
It
Whereas
can with Terra Grass, Terra Blast.
yeah, now it can.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh
but
my god.
Fluttermane can pretty much just like see anything in the format, and it's like I will raise you either a Specs Terra Fairy Moonblast or a Shadow Ball, and I will just either do like good enough damage or like it will just straight up kill you. Like I made a joke that I haven't posted. Maybe I'll post it after this, but it's just like really like a guy being scared because his Fluttermane in Sun with Specs and Terra Fairy only did like 85% instead of like knocking something out. Because that basically is like what the Pokemon is like it just takes kills, and if it doesn't, then like it's still doing like an absurd amount of damage. Whereas
It's just
yeah, Instant doesn't get away with that. Like
it's just in a lot of ways it's a race to the damage ceiling situation. And when we don't have like I fully agree with this instant take because like the damage ceiling is up here and our supports are over here. And like our ways of reducing the damage ceiling are over here. And I know like again, this is the crusty takes of a loser who hasn't made day 2 a single time this year. Like blah blah blah, whatever, I suck. But like the damage ceiling is over here and we have a freaking Arcanine. This guy's trash. Like that's what do you do?
Arcanine, man.
What does he do?
It does nothing. It's
So
sad.
like,
so
I think I think we need to power creep our damage mitigation options.
Yeah,
so
like
I fully agree with Incin.
Like Amoonguss is the second best Pokemon in the format, arguably. Like just looking at usage stats, it's always been Fluttermane then Amoonguss. And like Amoonguss has like 150 less BST than Fluttermane, and it's literally just because it's just the best support Pokemon. It's not that it is the best defensive support Pokemon. It is just the best support Pokemon because it's the only one that can heal your Pokemon. It's the only thing that can shut down things automatically with Spore. It's the only thing that can like realistically use redirection and get away with it. It's the only Pokemon that like can use its Terra type and like face tank things. Like it's the only Pokemon that can do almost all of these things, or like at least do one of them that you're gonna need. Not that it has the stats. Like Fluttermane will just outclass it on stats alone. A lot of Pokemon will just outclass it on stats alone, but Amoonguss is the only Pokemon that can do that job. And it's again like similar to Incineroar, where it's like, Instant has all these things, and it's just like good enough at doing them, and that's why it's going to be on a lot of teams. So like pretty much Amoonguss.
I think that's a good take.
Like Amoonguss is just the Incineroar of this format. That sounds really weird to say, but like it is the only support Pokemon that people are going to feasibly be able to afford putting on their team.
You need the damage reduction options that actually like have a presence, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the main thing. If your damage are just like I apologize, spoilers, Squawkability day 2 Malmo. But if your damage reductions are like Squawkability, right? And like it doesn't necessarily have presence, or if you're like a really aggressive damage options like are easy to ignore, then they aren't damage reduction. They are just field slots, right? Like so
they're just
the thing about Incin, the thing about Amoonguss, arguably Arcanine, but that guy sucks. And like Iron Hands, right? Or like they actually add presence when they're on the field. And we just need more of those guys because all these other stupid idiots on the screen right now.
Gyarados.
There's
I think
but these guys are so strong.
I think Jody pointed out that it's like the top row on the day 2 image shows that it is like 6 offense mons, or no, 5 offense mons and an Amoongus. And so yeah, a lot of the oppressive mons at the top are the ones that are just running over your whole team.
Yeah.
It looks like a fine team by itself. I'll take it.
I
It
mean,
looks
yeah.
okay.
I mean, yeah, I'd do it.
Honestly, yeah. I was
I
just
could day
thinking the
2
same thing.
You
AF,
could get
right?
away with that.
We could
day 2
honestly,
of
we
those.
could probably find somebody that earns CP with those 6 at one of these tournaments.
This
Yeah,
actually
they're just sitting
looks
there
not a
like-
bad
So,
team.
and so it's like, this
Literally.
is fire, bro.
It
The
Uh,
more
just
I'm looking
kinda-
at it, the more I'm like,
It looks like
wow.
the Dondozo team, but like if you just took all the Pokemon that usually accompany the Dondozo and then just like put
Amoongus doesn't
Amoongus
find
over
its way onto
Dozo.
Dondoso teams.
Okay, time to book
Yeah.
Fresno then. I found
So
my
writing this down. He's just like, hold
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
like
Let's do an
Is this
experiment.
the new?
in
Is this the new
Fresno.
Big Six? Big Six?
Yo.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I beat you to it, Sakago. I didn't see the chat.
New-
no, he beat you
Shaw.
to it.
No.
He beat you to it.
Anyway, the last thing I want to say about this before I bring us back.
Team 6 to 12 looks okay too. They're 7 to 12.
eh,
Gyarados. Ugh.
It's got
No,
Tinglu
it looks like
and
crap.
it's got Tinglu and Tusk.
Yeah, Tusk needs the SPDEF reduction. It's synergy
Actually, true.
or special
Oh no,
attack reduction.
Chua's like, I'm gonna run this in Milwaukee. And Dale's is like, wait a minute. Yeah, no, you go down this. So, okay.
What have we done?
But actually, though,
Unlist the video. We're done here.
So what I want to say though is the problem Pokemon I find are just the 2 at the top, Flutter and Bundle. They kind of they kind of limit the ability to use almost anything. It feels. Yeah, they just like the fact that they're just so fast and so strong at the same time. I know that Bundle isn't very strong, but it's like the speed ceiling and. I'm not normally a
No.
Tailwind player, but like you can't even play Tailwind because of that Pokemon. It's kind of like a regular
Yeah,
Lucky
you-
one.
As a Tailwind player, like as of right now, you kind of need Bundle to operate on the sense that Tailwind's not always going to be there to like as an option, and it's like, what's better than one speed control option? 2. It's kind of similar to how
Yeah.
people ran Regieleki and Whimsicott in Series 12.
Yeah, on Tailwind. Yeah, it's just like
I mean,
I think
the other thing though is
That's-
like anytime
that's
you do
why I was
anything
like-
fun.
I think a quote from Nick because I think Nick said his team wasn't going fast enough because he was running like a Tailwind team or something, but he didn't have Booster Bundle. He was like, yeah, my team is operating at a speed stat of like 450 when I really needed to be able to beat 600 because like that's where Bundle is at after
Yeah.
Booster Energy and Tailwind. It's like shit, yeah, no, if you want to play Tailwind, it is a serious arms race. But yeah, Bundle and Flutter, I think that they're just like kind of really limiting. And I mean, as you can see, they're the 2 at the top. We were talking about the Paradox Pokemon being really crazy, but we have to go down to the bottom row to see the other Paradox Pokemon, Iron Hands and Great Tusk. So,
So hey,
It makes
what
me
did
so
you want
happy
to
to
say?
see Iron Hands.
I
Oh
love
yeah, I
Iron
was just gonna say,
Hands.
yeah, same here, man. It's my
So
favorite
good.
Paradox mod.
Hands is
But yeah, all I was
fair.
gonna say was like, 100% agree with Alex about the booster bundle thing. I was testing like Sun for a little bit. I'm like, this is so annoying. Like, you have to run your own booster bundle if you're running Tailwind. So that's why I was just like, I'll just use different priorities to just kill these mons instead of just
It's-
going fast.
Yeah,
It's one
I'll
of
go
those things. Oh wait, go on. My bad.
No, please. I'm
Okay,
done.
I was gonna say it's one of those things
Okay,
where
so anyway,
Rajan is going to be removed. This is the
It's-
last time
it's-
we're gonna
It's one of those things. I have a very similar opinion to Series 12, and again, like another restricted format that I'm comparing this one to, where it's speed is kind of this like over like it kind of looms over the entire team's presence. Whereas in Series 12, Max Airstream and Tailwind were like kind of the big things. This go around, it's kind of just like you want to stack as many speed options as possible, and kind of just make them as ridiculous as possible. So like you'll have Tailwind, you'll have Iron Bundle, and like the only way you're really gonna get around like aggressive Pokemon like that or aggressive teams like that are very grounded Pokemon like Iron Hands or AV Groudon, where like they're just going to sit there and not care, and they're just gonna like do reliable damage. And like that's kind of why we're seeing Iron Hands start to pop up more in usage. I know a lot of people like going into Hartford were saying like, oh yeah, Iron Hands is in a really good spot right now. Like you kind of have these Pokemon to accompany. Obviously, even on these ridiculous speed teams, bless you by the way, you have these Pokemon to accompany your just like absolute speed demons, because at the end of the day you are eventually going to fight a team that is 6 speed demons as well, and you're going to need a Pokemon that is realistically grounded enough to be able to combat those. And that's why we see Pokemon like Iron Hands and
Yeah.
King Gambit that like
So-
are just like chilling at the bottom of the stats.
what was the regional before Hartford? I can't seem to remember. Was it
Portland.
Portland?
Yeah.
Portland, yeah. That was like the main thing that I was the most surprised about. That after UIC, I really thought that Iron Hand's stock was going to go really, really high up. And
Yeah.
in Portland, I was like, wow, like nobody is really using Iron Hands. Like, what are people doing? But it was good to see that,
You
Yeah,
it
know,
I
placed
think
well in
I'm realizing
Pokemon's
now.
got a
yeah.
I
fantastic
gotta,
kit.
I gotta. I'm just guessing off numbers because I really don't actually know. Um, is like so Jumpluff, in Sun and then Tailwind. That's like outrunning Bundle, right? In Tailwind and stuff.
Yeah.
So because it
Yes.
outruns Bundle before. Wait, no, does it?
It,
It
Oh, yeah,
outspeeds
it does,
Bundle
it
and
does.
It,
stuff.
out,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
outruns Bundle in the Sun.
Because I'm realizing that the team that Joe ran does actually kind of win the speed arms race, right? If
Mhm.
Yeah.
if it can get the Tailwind up on your quadruple weak to ice Pokemon.
Yeah,
but,
like what's
but-
better than Lilligant? Lilligant with Tailwind. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
just give it Tailwind.
Yeah, exactly. So I was thinking about that a little bit. I was like, wait, you never see like Lilligant on a Tailwind team, but I guess like Jumpluff is the way to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that when it comes to the speed arms race, I am very much an opt out type person too. Sohaib. So that's like when I see teams going that high up, like I actually I'm not normally a Tailwind player, but back at OCIC this year, I took Emilio's team and made some adaptations to it, and I put Trick Room on the Flutter just for like I'm not gonna play this Tailwind mirror. Like if you're setting up Tailwind, I'm setting up Trick Room. Man, I get Sakagam is actually in my head. They just keep saying things that I'm going to say. But yeah, I don't know. I think that like the speed arms race is just a little bit ridiculous at times, and you can definitely find success by rising all the way to the top. But I prefer to play around it.
I
Same.
generally I would say unlike you guys, I am fully willing to just kind of like
Play into it.
like, yeah, play into it. I do really like having Pokemon though that are just like honest, I guess is a good way to put it. Like Iron Hands is a completely honest Pokemon where it's like these other Paradox Pokemon, they're gonna like either headlong rush you and kill you instantly, or Moonblast you and kill you instantly, or have 5,000 speed and Icy Wind you. Iron Hands, no, you know what he's gonna do. He does his things, he does them well. Still kind of an absurd Pokemon if you look at the BST, but like he's the only one that really isn't abusing his ability in any way. He's got pretty honest moves, like they all do damage. They do solid damage.
No.
This
I
might be a
will-
bad take, but I think he's the best one out of all Paradox.
I think he's the most consistent one out of them all. But out of like
What do you
Fluttermane
mean
is the
when you
most
say
broken.
best? So, are you saying that it's like a stronger Pokemon to use on your team than Fluttermane, or are you saying it's the most balanced?
It's the most balanced in the
That's
sense
what
like
I-
it has
yeah.
the
Yeah,
best.
no, that's a fair take.
It has
I
it
have
has
no
the
beef with him
best.
on.
It has the best stat coverage, and it probably like in terms of overall kit, it's probably the best. Like that's what I mean by consistent. It's like you're
Mhm.
always going to find something for Iron Hands to do if you bring it.
Hmm.
Like most of the matches that I use with my team because it has an Iron Hands, I'm generally finding positions where it's either very viable or at least has some semblance of usage
To
that
be
makes me
fair,
consider it.
If we didn't have Fluttermane, I think I could see it being a little oppressive.
Oh no, it'd be disgustingly good, but like
so like maybe it's not actually that balanced. Like it is a very good Pokemon.
it's
But-
probably balanced when given context of the other Pokemon around it. Like I know,
Yeah.
I think in DLU it was getting suspect tested because it was like absurdly broken, but you also have to remember that Fluttermane got banned, so like it was in an environment where it had the ability to
So
flourish.
yeah, that's what I'm
very
saying.
uncontrolled.
Okay,
Like,
cool. Good to know.
It is very hard to kill without.
It's very
without
oppressive in double. So
Fluttermane.
you,
Yeah.
as Sakuragame's just saying, I swear Sakuragame's
And
like
people
in
started running
the chat.
Heavy Slam on it in Hartford, so I feel like that just like makes Fluttermane's life even harder. 'Cause,
Mhm.
like
yeah, Slam is
if you,
an amazing move on it. Or
Mhm.
on.
If you're not like Terra Fairy and Specs, like you're not even one-shotting the AV hands anyway.
Yeah.
So you have to like
Yeah.
go all into that, and your opponent can either Terra out of it or just play a little bit more defensively, and then they just wasted your Terra on like the Fluttermane.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a
I respect that. So to bring us back though, we were actually just talking about home. We actually never started talking about any of the
Oh.
tournaments. So we
So
did a bit
let's
of a,
bring
we did a bit of
Ursha
a
to it.
metagame dive in the middle there. But let's talk about some of these events and we'll come back and talk more about this. There are some silly teams that definitely deserved their time.
Oh, it's time to talk about
in this.
Earthworm.
But yeah, right now we're gonna start with Earthworm. I swear I saw Jokin Salerno. I swear I saw you in the chat earlier. If you're still here, say hi.
Joaquin.
But yeah, Worm win again from the same same player. And sure enough, yeah, rose to the top with the same team. I gotta say, I'm a big fan. Anytime I see Earthworm, like Earthworm is just such a honest guy. Like there's nothing dishonest about this Pokemon. If you lost to the worm,
This
you messed up. Like
this
it's.
goofy dude.
I just love that it's just like viable. This Pokemon's so cool. It is, and
I like Worm being in the Amoonguss slot. That's pretty funny.
what do you mean the Amoonguss slot? Oh yeah, I like the way that they organize the website.
Yeah, there's a Fluttermane slot. There's your silly little goober slot. There's your
You're
fire
so
type slot.
No, the last slot is your 600 BST Pokemon, but no,
Your pseudo.
your pseudo. But they this team didn't have it. It didn't annihilate. Anyways, Wochin
Close
making
enough.
it a deep run too. Got to give a shout out to that. That's always fun to see. And Mouseape, an archetype that some people just like to say he's fake, some don't. Well, here it
It's
is.
fake.
And yeah, other than that, some we're seeing some teams running, Gyarados plus Chi-Yu as their fire water. We see Arcanine Palafin as their fire water. Amoonguss is always the grass, except sometimes when you're running the snail, I guess. That's a different team. That's not really balanced. And then other than that, no other like big standout appearances from the teams in the top cut here. There is a Grimmsnarl. Shout outs to that guy.
What do you think Grimmsnarl's doing right now? Like, do you think he's like Sash or?
I think Grimmsnarl's probably
I
spending
like
most
Clay.
of his time on the beach with all of the money that he earned in Gen 8.
Yeah.
And so
And that
he's
makes a lot of
tanning.
sense.
just taking the Gen off.
Tanning with that
Alright.
light screen.
What is Grimmsnarl's favorite beach drink? Because Grimmsnarl's not a pina colada guy.
I honestly I don't know if I have a good answer because I don't drink. So I'm just gonna.
I can't
Same.
drink.
You asked the wrong call, Rajan. What is your pick? What is your answer then?
I mean, like a smoothie.
A smoothie. Thank
Yeah,
you.
coconut
Alright.
water.
I didn't say I was
Or something.
alcoholic. I just was asking what Grimm's into.
Well, I'm gonna go with the pina colada.
I think-
I like a pina colada.
I think he's into
That's
those.
disgusting.
I think he's into those like pizza store like crappy like like the kind of pattern I'm talking about, but like those like paper cup drinks with like the blue and purple like pattern on them. I feel like he's into those.
But what's
Like you like
what's
I don't
in
know.
that?
you're like a really crappy
You're talking
Pepsi
about the
or
cup.
something.
The
Yeah,
cup
he's
could hold
got like
anything.
it's got the really thin straw. It's got like some fountain soda in it or whatever.
Okay, sure, a fountain soda. Because I was like,
Like a fountain soda.
the aesthetic of the cup is not important. To
It,
what's
no, it's
actually.
dire.
You hit the whole thing up.
So yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about these teams, especially because we don't have the imports or whatever, the actual team sheets. So yeah, if you guys want to check it out, definitely check out Victory Road. But I think for the rest of the teams, we're actually looking at them on the Top Cut Explorer. I've been having a lot of fun checking that out this weekend. I was like, I should actually be using this because it's got easy access to all the pastes and you can look at the data. It's just such an awesome tool. So yeah, the Cut Explorer. Also, the Cut Explorer was like live before the tournament set even ended, and I could just like follow along. I was like, oh, what is this person using? All right, let's go find out exactly that. And so yeah, we are gonna start talking about Malmo now. Malmo was won by Maddie Morgan, otherwise known as Maddie Moo. And notably with a record of 11-3 after starting 6-3, making it into the second day, and winning out 5-0, making it into the top cut, winning the whole thing. I think that's
Yeah, how do you feel about that just happening at all?
it's very impressive. I do have to admit.
Yeah.
Like normally we think X and 2 should be moving on to the second day. However, if 11-3s are the ones that make cut, and you had a strong enough schedule to make it in to top 32 at 6-3, I think you should be allowed your chance to go 5-0 and win the whole thing, and I think that's pretty awesome.
I think that's valid. Like if you're making it and you can do that, then like yeah, I think you belong there. Like
because it's not like you're already at a severe disadvantage by making it into the second day at 6-3. A single loss and your cut chances are gone. And so the fact that he was given this chance, and Resistance said that well, he was 6-3, but his schedule was a bit harder than some of the other 6-3s. It is just equal.
Excuse me, sorry.
He should be.
I
And
am.
so won over the finals. Marco Fierro running a. So yeah, I guess I didn't really talk about the teams. Maddie's team here is the Gavin Rain. Gavin, I think, debuted this team at Portland, and it does have some changes. So it's not like a complete rip of Gavin's team. Gavin had an Azumarill over the Palafin and some other changes, like I think a Focus Sash Pelipper, or some other things. But yeah, I think that this is pretty cool. Trick Room Flutter, I've got to say I'm a fan of that. The Heavy Slam on the Iron Hands, like Sohaib was talking about. Terra Electric Amoongus, because Europe loves that for some reason. I can't explain it. I still don't get it.
Me neither.
And then Helmet Arcanine. I also think that's pretty wild, but like, sure.
Yeah, that one's really cool.
I like that one.
Yeah, you guys are into it? I'm not sure I am, but I mean,
I
all the
dig
other
it
good
as-
items are taken, so...
Yeah, as someone who doesn't
Yeah.
use Arcanine, I'm like, yeah, I respect it. Like, it's cool.
Why is the is the Pelipper goggle specifically to just like be able to switch in the streamer? Like,
I
is
guess,
I
it?
guess. Yeah.
I mean, if you're on a Rain team, and maybe Rain is being set up more often than not, Pelipper is going to be the Pokemon that's doing more damage to Amoongus than your Arcanine switching in and
Maybe
getting
for
off
the
of
Sun
Flare Blitz.
matchup.
I'm
so-
curious in Steel Terra type on Pelipper.
No, Steel Terra is goaded.
Yeah, that's just because you
I
ran
was-
that back in Series 1.
I was gonna say I like flying on Pelipper just because then Hurricane hits so hard. But like,
I liked the flying as
So,
well, but I think it does
Pontus
have to
said
be
that-
parried with the sash, and
Yeah.
so if the
That's
goggles was
valid,
the way to go, then I think a defensive Terra does make a bit more sense. Sash lets you stick around longer. Terra Steel is another way to let yourself stick around longer.
maybe I just don't like the fact that like you can get hit by Tinglu now. Like,
So
super
Pontus
effectively.
mentioned like that it was really hard to beat the Steel Pelipper
Oh yeah, because he used
in his
backs.
with the backs team, so he was having trouble beating the Terra Steel Pelipper. So maybe it's for that matchup.
Yeah, looking at it, Baxcalibur does hit a lot of these Pokemon hard with its Ice type moves or Dragon type moves, and so having a way to resist that is pretty nice. And then yeah, Trick Room Flutter. That's just like kind of cool, kind of a fun innovation, very bulky.
And then yeah, he's doing Finn, but not a Azumarill.
Yeah.
So about that, I've been hearing a lot of folks saying, like, man, Palafin's the worst part about Palance. I hate this mon
Yeah.
now.
That
Like,
is
how do
the-
folks feel about that?
That is the news.
So
Lately.
even I was
I
talking
honest-
to Maddie.
Go ahead, so
Oh yeah, sorry, go ahead. Yeah, even he said that he wasn't as big of a fan of Palafin on his team anymore.
Oh wait, the
So
guy
he-
Maddie. Oh well, they.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was
no,
like-
oh, wait, yeah.
No, I'm done. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was I'm terrible with these things.
All right, so anyway.
I apologize, but
You
no,
have to-
I agree. I've always kind of felt that out of the like all the Pokemon that you can bring in Palance, because like kind of the reason why that team was so strong for a long time is that like, oh yeah, you can bring any of the Pokemon and they all have like base 600 BST and they're all very good. Palafin is always going to kind of be like the hardest one to use out of them, just because it's always going to require a switch like at some point. And generally, like a lot of people we saw started using Palance in a way that was bring Palafin in back, switch it in at some point, and then switch it out again so that way it can transform. And no matter whether you go A or B about it, it's always going to require some input from the player to get it going. Whereas the other 5 Pokemon are just naturally good and can like do things on their own agency. Whereas
It does
Palafin,
seem like a lot of work.
yeah, Palafin just requires a lot more time to get going. And not saying that it can't be good, because it clearly has been good and it's a very good Pokemon. It has literal slacking stats without the problems that slacking like raises. But it's always going to be the fact that yes, I have to switch out and it has to be into a Pokemon that is going to tank this well, because I think kind of the big glaring problem with Palance that a lot of people started dropping off like using it, other than the fact that like Palafin requires a good amount of input to use, is that Palance kind of has the issue where you take one Pokemon out of the equation and the entire team falls like a stack of dominoes, or like a Jenga game, I guess is like a better way to
True,
phrase it.
that is topical.
Yeah, but like, you remove like basically Palance is always going to be the equivalent of like there will be one Pokemon that causes problems into the opposing team. And if they get rid of that, then I basically have 3 Pokemon that cannot act on their own. They're all kind of glued together by one Pokemon, and they kind of try to shift around that Pokemon as much as possible in the matchup. So you oftentimes eliminate the problem Pokemon first, or before they can start really getting into their get into their game plan or their groove. they kind of just have a hard time, and it's not really worth using a team that requires so much input and so much decision. When you can just kind of do the same thing with a Azumarill and Pelipper or something like that, where these Pokemon
So
are still very good, but they don't require as much brain power.
my hot take with this is like watch it win NAIC, because the thing is like the main reason it doesn't work is because everything is getting so offensive, right? Like you take
Yeah.
so much damage, you're switching Palafin in and out, and it's like everything's just doing a million damage. But I have a feeling the people are going to start responding to this hyper offensive stuff, and then it's just gonna give room to this standard Palace
Okay,
stuff to sneak right back in,
so
just like Rinya
with
did
that
at
feeling of
Worlds.
yours, do you want to DM me how I'm supposed to do that?
So my take is, James presented this like, option A, lead Palafin, option B, have it in back. The one that the situations I've been most impressed with Palafin players, and I'm not a Palafin player currently. I haven't been playing much lately at all, but Palafin definitely not. I'm always most impressed when players find the good situations for option C. Just use baby often.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
do
like
that
just
all the
keep
time.
blasting things with wave crash. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't actually know baby Palafin's attack stat off the top of my head.
It's like 70.
It's not the
60.
highest, but
Damn.
what is it, Rajan? You said it's 60? No, I don't think.
Oh,
It's
I
It's
just lied. I
70,
don't
no, it's
know.
Yeah, no, I'm
70 or
pretty sure it's
80.
70.
Oh,
Like
I was right
right
all
there.
along.
Yeah, I thought it was
I
70.
just lied.
70 sound familiar.
Yeah.
Is like just like wave crash things, because like people often try
Just
to deal
wave
with
crash
it
forehead.
by, yeah, like people always try to like deal with it by predicting the switch. They're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna counter their Palafin's setup turn by, I don't know, or like leaving it in, protecting. It forces a lot of good like good mind games that way, is that it at least has like a lot of options, as opposed to just I have to switch it out turn one. Yeah, protecting Palafin turn one is a solid option.
That's
Or
valid.
if you
One
know that
doubles.
you're faster than the Arcanine, just Terra Water Wave Crash. I think it still dies even after Intimidate, because
If not, it still
Mo-
hurts. Like,
most of them die, yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, but then you're looking at Matty moves and you see that Rocky helmet, and are you sure you want to do that?
Oh
honestly, yeah,
yeah,
you do
you're
take a
taking
lot of
away their
recoil, but
Arcanine.
the Arcanine's gone, and as we said in the Palance mirrors, when one Pokemon falls, they all fall. And so
yeah.
I think that's just like a
I
really
have
fun way.
what instead I've noticed is when I see Palance, I fall is the problem.
I lost to
So-
Palance 3 times like in a row
Like,
at EUIC. or
Palance
whatever.
Mirrors
No,
is
I beat
all
him
about
once.
killing
I
the
won't win
Arcanine.
but
So
I was gonna say Palance mirrors don't sound fun, because like I remember at the beginning of Regulation C, I was like, let's test out Palance, let's just see what it's like. And the first like match I played was me and this guy playing a mirror, and we kept pollen puffing each other until he landed Fissure and I clicked forfeit and went on with the rest of my life. It was just like it just was not fun. Like you either do something like that where again like it's like if one Pokemon falls, the rest of them fall, where they need the support of like each other to function properly. And like I think that's like the you
I think
Alex, you
that's
mentioned
beautiful,
like,
actually. That's a metaphor for
it's
life.
it's real
That's
friendship
beautiful.
like things. But like I think Alex meant like valid, like it's very valid to just stay in and go for wave
Ah.
crash. And like
100%,
Hey,
yeah.
I agree.
Sit back
Like,
from the mic, brother.
oh wait, really?
You could
Really?
literally
So bad?
tell by the level of a Palance player by just
That hurt.
seeing if how long they keep
It's
the baby
fine.
I'm
fin in.
sorry.
You're
I
good.
didn't mean it.
I think it's just Rajan. It was not
But-
that bad.
All right, so like yeah, no,
I'll lower
Palafin
my
switching. No, most people do that for me on Discord. Don't feel bad. It's like, what is it? Palafin, like if you stay in and you go for wave crash, you have to really, really hope it works. Because like, I think a great example is EUIC finals where Paul like. I remember I was in the crowd the entire time. I was telling like James Beck and Joe, I was like, he has to just Terra Water wave crash the Baxcalibur on the Terra Poison read, and that's what he did game 3. And I mean, I can say that in hindsight, and people are gonna think like, "Wow, he really just said that play after it happened." But I promise you, I was onto it.
No, I said it too. I was
Okay.
saying it. Everybody at the bar was saying it.
Yeah, everyone was there.
You know, It was.
But
Well, how do you feel about that? You're in the chat.
But it was it's really one of those things where like if a Gotti, like you have to really, really be confident and get it right. And like that's again where I'm saying is like Palafin requires a lot of mental stamina to use in a way that I don't think is admittedly worth it. It's certainly why I haven't used the Pokemon, because
W-
I used it for a global challenge and I, turn one every game guaranteed was just like, I'm gonna go with this and like see how it goes, because it's best of one and like worst case I just lose and I go into the next game. In best of three, I admitted I was like, okay, Palafin, I cannot use this Pokemon because it's just not worth playing these mind games with myself more than my opponent. Like on whether I'm keeping it in, whether I'm switching it out or not, whether like, is this going to be the way that like I try and execute my game plan between 3 games potentially? Whereas like, I could just click Tailwind and go Burr. Like, it's just
Yeah.
not worth
What were we
it.
talking about the set? Paul's in chat now.
Oh yeah,
I don't
no,
actually
Paul.
know.
What we said to you, Paul, was that your turn in game 3 against Agati was obvious, and that everyone knew you were going to make that play. So
Yeah,
don't,
you
don't
should feel
feel
bad.
don't feel good about that read. Is
Yeah,
basically
you're
that's
a
basically
sham.
what Rajan said.
That is, in fact, precisely what James said. Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, we'll just find somebody else to pin. Audie said it.
So I
Yeah.
So
So one thing I have to
go
say
ahead.
though, I do agree with you. It's like it takes a lot of mental strength, but man, one thing like the thing about Paul is like when he plays Palance, you can tell that there's levels to this team, man.
yeah.
It's like this is what happened to me at UIC. Like I played him at like 4-0 or something, and he beat me, and I was like, wow, so this is how you use Palance, like It's just
That's
after that,
awesome.
it's just like I started doing what he was doing to me, and it was like a breeze for me. So it's like it's just wow, like
So you just
because
you
like he
got
used
how
Baby
does
Finn
it just need
game
to
one.
play
so
Paul
hard.
once?
He
The
balked me
sets that
so
you
hard
lose
with
so
Baby
I
Finn.
hard.
played Paul twice this weekend.
Does Paul do coaching? Apparently
You
just
get that
Paul
trash, and you're like, wait a second. This
Paul
is
just
a
need
spiritual awakening. You have to lose
Honestly,
to
like I'm
Paul
not
early.
even
You have to
lying.
lose to
It's
Paul
crazy.
early enough in the tournament to actually obtain the dividends for later, right? Like if you're gonna play
Mhm.
Paul, you want that round 1, so your next 8 rounds are just like a growth for you.
Dude, I'm telling you, I learned so much from it, and I had used like Palance variants like for 2 regionals even before that, and it's just that game was like
It's
enlightening.
like
That set, I was like,
I posted it in our chat, but it's like it really is this GIF like playing Paul. You just
oh yeah,
realize
the
everything.
brain blast
Mhm.
basically.
Yeah, the Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I like that.
It's like it's crazy. Like I thought I was making plays that were like out there, and he was reading them too, and I'm like, oh my god, like what do I do here? game two, game two, I just like dumbed it down, super dumbed it down. I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna make any plays. I'm just gonna click buttons, and
Paul
that made the game a little bit more closer. It's just because he couldn't read those, but yeah.
yeah.
I can vouch for this. Like this happened this weekend. I clicked make it rain, and then I ended up just critting, and that's how I won our first set. And then he read me every single turn in our second set, and I died.
To answer your question, Lemonade, I mean, Paul would definitely answer it better if he wants to, but I think Paul said that he's done using Roaring Moon, so
That one's trash. I'm out of
he
here.
finally did call it
Mid.
Roaring Mid. Anyways, yeah, I've played Paul a number of times over the years and have like a really negative record, except that one time that I beat him in Players Cup, and then Wolf made a YouTube
And now
video
you're on.
about
Now
it.
you have a YouTube short
I
there.
only beat him once in a
You are a
PC.
celebrity now.
This Pokemon player.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get back to talking about the tournament though. Marco got second with the Sun offense team, and we've got yeah, it's actually Sunny Day Talonflame, so I guess you can call this Sun. Normally
That's
when you
kind of
think
cool.
of Sun, you
Big
think of the
Murkrow.
2 Sun setters, Torkoal and Murkrow. But we've got Talonflame here, Sunny Dang, and admittedly, it can be hard. Baby Palafin doesn't often clean up these type of teams, but Big Palafin does. And so if you can find the turn to set up Sunny Day, that can definitely limit Palafin's ability to deal with these types of teams, and maybe that's a contributing factor.
That's probably why. Like that's honestly like a big reason why the guy kind of blows, right? Like if the damage ceiling, I don't know what the breakdown fully was at Hartford, but it feels like the top esque teams right now are like Palance-ish with like Chien Pao stuff or like whatever. Like that's like what you were on, right?
Yeah,
So
you just call it balance
and
now.
then the other is like balance, other balance, but with Chiyu or Sun. And like those are our guys, right?
Mhm, a
And
little
if
bit.
Palance, like
Yeah.
if you don't have time to like, the problem is like we've raced We really have escalated to the damage ceiling, and now you just kind of don't have time. And like I've always felt like, to me personally, any EVs in speed are a waste on your BST. That is something that I've always like. I feel like Mons with speed EVs don't have stats.
That's a wild take. I'm interested.
I feel it like.
So like the thing is that's kind of contradictory to that, Rajan. I get what you're saying, but
I know the stat is moving first.
Yeah, I was gonna say the death is the best damage reduction. You know, like your Pokemon don't die if theirs are dead.
It's fainting.
No, I get that. Like, but that is how I want to play the game at the very least. Like, I like the idea of.
Yeah, it sounds like you're just preaching to the Trick Room players in the chat. They're just like,
exactly. Everyone in the chat's like, TR, the play. But
I mean, that's what
I feel it. If you have
I wish
speed
Trick
stats, you're
Room was
wasting EVs or wasting BST. But like, you don't like. But the Mons are too aggressive. They're too strong. They're gonna F you up, and switching out's really hard. And I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm definitely saying better players than me are doing it. I'm not pretending at all that like I'm a part of this conversation, but it's very frustrating to be like, I'm looking at that stupid Flutter, and I'm looking at this stupid Great Tusk, and I'm looking at this stupid Chiyu, and I'm looking at these stupid guys, and I'm like, man, really wish anything ever at all could address this outside of playing the same game.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I like the nickname theme. We've got like all these like longer names, and then just fish, and then we just have fish. I guess biggest bird falls into the same category. We have La Forteza and then fish. I like, no disrespect to Marcus, but like biggest bird is like the name like a 6-year-old would name their Talonflame in game. What's going on?
No, a 6-year-old names their Talonflame. Sorry,
no, it is a 6-year-old's team. It's his younger brother's team.
Oh god, there you go. I guess
a 6-year-old names their Talonflame Craig.
That's true.
Craig.
We do have a 6-year-old to verify that. Anyway, Maurice got top 4 with what is that? We've got Tauros.
The other Tauros.
I honestly am a little bit disappointed that the Tauros didn't have Raging Bull, mainly because when I saw this on stream and I didn't see like the full team, I was like, dang, this guy really is running screens and the screen counter. He is saying like, I'm doing the best thing right now and I'm gonna make sure nobody else does it to me. but instead
I'm into it though.
There's no Raging Bull. I still respect the fact that it's got the strong moves. I mean, this Tauros can definitely do some damage. Mirror Herb.
Yeah,
that's pretty fun.
I'm definitely into this
what
guy.
What is helping in this meta?
King Gambit. King Gambit.
So yeah,
Dozo and Gambit.
That like I think so. Tauros is in a weird spot for me. I think namely it does a lot of funny things. Like it's very similar to Arcanine, obviously fire type with Intimidate, Will-O-Wisp, Flare Blitz. Obviously it's a fighting type, so it's a lot more combative into Ruin Pokemon. Most notably, I think the one that kind of comes to mind the most is Chiyu because you're a fire fighting type. You have pretty good resistance on both. The
speed
problem,
tie it, unfortunately, right?
Yeah, you speed tie it.
That is funny.
That frustrates me like so much because like I'm like, yeah, Tauros is hypothetically very solid, except for the fact that it has no special defense and it speed ties Chiyu. So anything it kind of has going for it, it kind of falls off the face of the earth for me in that regard. It's still a pretty cool Pokemon.
I saw somebody in the Showdown room post a team with Scarf Tauros with Double Kick, and I was like, dang, Chen-Pao gets owned. That's kind of awesome.
I've thought about that. I've actually thought about that.
I believe it. I bet Raj has thought about it too. He ran Scarf Tauros.
No, I haven't. Not this time. I'm not playing this idea.
Anyways,
I have thought about every other thing that you could possibly do in this team builder. Not that though.
Not that though. So yeah, screens, I guess, making a comeback. So not something that I would have thought. We'll actually be talking about a screens team a bit later. I'm excited to talk about screens more. That team's I
was gonna say it actually did end up cutting every event this weekend.
Oh, was screens in top 8 at Hartford?
Buenos Aires.
Oh yeah,
it was in Hartford too. Yeah.
I remember.
So I will say Maurice's team is my hope for the format. Personally, just the way I want to do it. Like
the complete opposite then.
That was apparent from the beginning.
I am a big fan of like reduction and Goldango and those sorts of things. And what I really respect about Maurice is Maurice's team and like Maurice in building it. Like you might think like, oh, it's just a Mungus and Goldango and the screens guy and like the pieces that are good. But Maurice had the like wherewithal to be like, I think Tauros does this and enables this mon better than other mons do, and I'm gonna bring it, and I don't care. And I think that's just like really impressive a little bit because like a lot of these teams end up looking the exact way, and then something else in the Tauros slot.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I love that he's just like, no, this is my guy, and I'm ride or dying this bull, and he
like,
did, and it was awesome.
So one thing that I was playing around with is I went down to the bottom and it was like, what Pokemon got like a single appearance that are like notable in this one? And we'll be talking about Squawkabilly and maybe the Klefki and maybe the Dunsparce. All found themselves on the same team. But you know, Tauros is like, there's only one Tauros, and it's like, okay, let's go down to the bottom and figure out where the Tauros is. No, it's a top 4. That's pretty awesome. Tyranitar
I hate that game when you find the one mon
well.
and then you start bottom up.
Yeah.
It's so that game is so rude.
And so yeah, Tyranitar, people thought might do well, but it definitely didn't show up this weekend. I guess like because Sun was coming off of recent wins, people want to deal with that, but Tyranitar not showing up, I guess not the actual answer. Looking at the rest of the teams in the top 8, the top 4, like Pontus, you ran a cool Excalibur balance team. I don't really have anything else to say about it. I'm sure there's like some really interesting mirror text that Sohaib could spend hours talking about, but I don't want to hear it.
That's true.
So nobody gets off on balance more than Sohaib.
This time, Mike and Pontus worked on this one. Mike used it too, but everybody in Hartford had a good matchup into this.
Oh, here he is, Mike the backs. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no. So then, I don't know what else to say. Let's see. There's like a solo ape team. Oh, you know what? I think maybe let me click this one. Yeah, apparently a good number of players were running this Assault Vest Annihilate. I think that's pretty interesting.
I didn't even know about that. What is
Terra
it?
Electric Amoongus. Honestly, I'm not gonna find the answer to this one until
I
find a European at Worlds and just shake them by the shoulders. Like, what are you guys doing? What is this for?
It's even more frustrating.
It doesn't.
It's Akaberry. So you Terra to Electric and you have no item.
I'm a
Citrus
big
Berry is completely available here.
I am a really
no
big
Citrus Berry on the team?
There's no Citrus Berry.
I'm a really big fan. I love Terra Water Yachi Amoongus. I'm a big fan of that one.
I can respect that one.
You're
That one's
evil.
funny. That one's funny. No, I like that one. I've seen it. I've thought about it. But the Akaberry, yeah, sure. I can respect Akaberry.
That one is just silly, though.
Akaberry, some people run Terra Steel Amoongus, and so I could think, yeah, you could run Akaberry and Terra Steel.
Yeah.
This reminds me of this GC2 team that this Japanese player was running. He had actually Safeguard Dragonite or the Dragon Dance slot. So then it was just so hard to beat because like with the Safeguard you couldn't burn any of his Pokemon.
There are
He
like
just sat
so
there and
few
kept howling.
Safeguard Pokemon, and like it is just a really strong move in a format like this with Gyarados spamming Thunderwave, Arcanine spamming
All right.
Wisp, and
Outside of
that.
Dragonite and Vivian, name one Safeguard Pokemon. Don't look it up.
What,
Give me a
Bronzong,
minute.
right? That's a free
Clef-
one.
He doesn't get it. Oh no, wait, Bronzong does get Safeguard.
Bronzong
Yeah,
gets
you're
it.
right. I had to think about it.
Dang
Yeah,
it.
That's it.
You should
And
have made
that's it.
Bronzong.
Also
That was
include
an
that, yeah.
obvious one.
Yeah, I should have excluded that guy too. All right, Bronzong was part of the ones that you think would get it.
Yeah.
So Vivian, Dragonite, Bronzong. Name literally another one.
Klefki or no?
Nah.
Dude, if Klefki had
Klefki has
Safeguard,
Misty
my,
Terrain.
like
There's
It has Misty Terrain.
So like
Same
I
thing.
was talking with Nick on the train earlier, and it's
give me
a funny answer to that is like if Klefki got Safeguard, you would know about it.
Yep. I feel that. Yeah, I agree with Jun's pick. Gardevoir.
I don't actually remember if Guardy gets it. No, Guardy does not get
No, it
it.
doesn't. I'm trying to think. Damn it.
I had an answer without looking it up, and then I am looking
I would say
it up.
I
now
mean,
I'm looking at,
is
I'm
it
looking
like
at the Pokemon plushies on my wall.
a
and
dumb
stuff
one
to
is
see,
like
the Pokemon I
Chansey?
can think of.
Does Chansey get it? Chansey and Blissey.
No, it doesn't.
What the heck?
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
Pokemon
it's
lost Safeguard in this game.
The distribution is so silly.
Yeah, it's kind of just like a bunch of random Pokemon, if I remember correctly.
Oh,
It's like,
fully agree. Safeguard Arcanine would be so goated.
no, Safeguard
Yeah,
Arcanine
I
is
looked into that.
fantastic.
That'd
Yeah,
be
I feel
so
like everyone's
goated.
looked into that and just gotten really
Mhm.
sad.
No,
Yeah, that
the
made me
list.
so sad.
I'll give it off. The one I knew were Florges and Arboliva.
Okay.
But then there's Alomomola, Altaria, Luminion, Love Disc because apparently that's fully evolved, Oricorio, and Rabska.
Oh,
Okay,
Rabsca.
like,
I should have gotten
all
Rabsca.
like those are all Pokemon that like thematically fitted, I suppose.
I should have gotten Rabsca. I'm
All
disappointed.
the ones I would never touch.
Yeah, exactly.
Name
Yeah,
the
for
one
real.
Pokemon that gets speed swap.
Okay, so looking at the rest of these teams in the top 8, there's not a lot that I want to say about these ones. If you guys want to check them out more, definitely go to Cut Explorer and look at it.
That's a really
and
long Pokemon name.
going all the way down to top 16, they're like, still just a bunch of like, teams that we've seen. I do want to give credit to Eric Rios though. Just because like I've kind of been calling this the Rios team. I think he was one of the first people to make a deep run with exactly this 6, and as you'll see, the 6 was like very common this weekend.
Oh, he didn't have hands back then.
Yeah, I don't think he had hands.
He didn't have hands. How
Yeah,
did
he
Eric
didn't
get
have-
his hands then?
I
I feel like
think-
he's
I think-
always had hands.
I think for the most part, hands has been like a recent addition to most of these teams.
Did he actually not
Yeah,
have hands? I think that's.
It was 100% not AV hands because I remember I was talking to one of my friends and he was like, "Oh, Eric is on AV hands too now." So I was like, "Cool."
I love
I really
the leftovers
appreciate.
Tinglu. I am so happy about that. I think lefties protect Tinglu or lefties Tinglu in general is just so good.
I
agree with that.
I like the nickname theme though. He had the same nickname theme at EUIC, I'm pretty sure, which is like it's just that like the girl you like, her father, her dad, that type of meme. Like it's just so stupid. Anyway, fun nickname theme.
It's funny.
But yeah, that's 6. I've been lately calling it the Rios team. Wolf used it, Tang has been using it, a lot of people have been using that 6, so yeah, it's always easy to refer to it by a person because acronyms that would probably be gross. I don't want to think.
I've kind of referred to it as just like Chi-Yu-Gara balance. Like it's I've
Yeah.
always said like if you want to use balance, but you don't want to like admit to the fact like you don't want to admit to yourself that you want to use Palafin balance, you use Chi-Yu-Gyarados balance.
That is the thing that separates them is, your
Mhm.
Intimidate is either Arcanine or Gyarados, and then
Yeah.
your Fire type becomes Chi-Yu, or your Water type becomes Palafin.
Do you want to click Thunder Wave? Yes or no?
A little bit. Thunder Wave or Wisp. Okay, so going down though, let's see. Jamie Boyd's team was really crazy. This Trick Room team.
Yeah, that's the
Torkoal.
one. That's the team.
This team is nuts. It's got
That's
the Life
the
Orb
team.
Kazugiri, it's got the Booster Energy Iron Hands, the Scream Tail is the big star of the show, Power Band, with Howl. And then yeah, Dondozo Safety Goggles, Assault Vest Torkoal with Flare Blitz. So it's also getting howled. We howling everybody around here. I guess not Kazugiri. But yeah, honestly a really
If
awesome
only it had
team.
Rapid Spin.
True,
Bro,
if it only
Flare
had
Blitz.
Rapid Spin. This team is super awesome, and I'm sad to not see it go deeper. But yeah, I definitely one that I would recommend people go and try, or maybe not, because I don't know if Boyd teams have ever worked for anybody else. So
That is actually true. Yeah.
What was his World 16 one? Nexus?
No,
with the
his
Blazer?
World's 2019 one was Nexus. He
Oh
kept
my
calling
God.
it-
Was that 19? I thought it was 16.
No, the future.
No,
is
16
now,
was
but-
Zern. Right. No, it was
Yeah.
19. It was 19. It was 19.
And so yeah, actually the team that everyone's talking about down here in the top 32 from Ivar, I'm not exactly sure how to say their name.
Squawka William.
There he
We've
is.
got Squawkabilly. We've got
Oh boy.
Dunsparce. Tatsu, and honestly,
Can I say
think
something?
this is the only. Yeah, one second. I think this is the. I mean,
He
the
said
nickname.
no
It's
this time,
their,
actually, and he meant it.
Yeah, exactly. I
Skill.
said no. The in the nickname is the only person I think to run Tatsugiri no Dozo and get championship points like this season. I honestly would put a bit of money on that. Like I don't know. I don't think anybody's doing this.
That sounds like an anime name. Tatsugiri no Dozo.
It kind of does. I mean, a little bit. So go ahead. So what did you want to say?
Yeah. I was just okay. First of all, I know I will make a lot of enemies with this, but
Let's go.
this is the one
Somebody has to.
team that made me just. I was like, throw away Europe now. After I saw this team
Let's
did.
go.
I was like, we can't.
You
I'm sorry, my
can't be
European
doing
friends.
this, man.
So I'm
Like,
saying
Yeah,
you
you
guys
can't
let
let this get to day
CP.
two.
Nah, put him there, bro. Like,
Oh my gosh.
I was just like, wow.
So a bit of the story behind the team was apparently the Tatsugiri used to be either a Gastrodon or a Shellos.
No,
I
it was
believe
a
it was a
Shellos,
Shellos.
brother.
Why?
Because they didn't want to have the weaknesses that the ground type brought, like being quadruple weak to freeze dry from bundle, but they still wanted the storm drain, and it had sandstorm because it was
You
the
want
only
to
way
Terra
to
the
do
Shellos,
damage.
bro? How does that make sense?
No, just Terra to water with Gastrodon then. Or like Terra to anything with Gastrodon then.
I
And
don't think you're trying that hard.
so the numbers on this one are funny. It is wide lens on the Dunsparce, so the Rock Slide is boosted to 99% accurate. Not
I
unlike-
think that is
It's
the
still
one choice on the
missed.
team. No, that is the one choice on the team. Honestly, you know what? You can have all the other choices. I'm fine with them. That's the one that makes me mad about this
I think
team.
I actually that's the one choice I do agree with. I think that
Yeah.
so the team is built around clicking Glare and Thunderwave on both of their Pokemon with a very fast Dunsparce, I believe. And you click Rock Slide, which with Serene Grace, if it is connecting, and you're 99% accurate, they have a 60% chance to flinch. Not unlike Togekiss's,
I
Togekiss's
think
Air
that is
Slash from years
cowardice.
past. You know what? You should just shut up,
That
man,
is-
and let me talk about it on Spars.
That is cowardice.
So it has a 60% chance to flinch, not unlike Togekiss from years past with its Air Slash, but on both of the Pokemon. And I think with the paralysis, it's I think it's like I can't remember what the number. I should run the number, but it's such a small chance to move. Like I think you have like a 70+% chance to like deny at least one of their moves.
Dear God.
No, it's actually way more than that. Is the funny thing. It's like you have to hit through the paralysis and then also hit through you have to hit through the paralysis and the rock slide. If we assume that rock slide's 100% accurate because of wide lens, just for math purposes, you only have a 30% chance to move with either Pokemon. Like one of them has a 30% chance to move. So you will have like you'll have a 90% chance of denying a turn.
Go ahead.
I'm just upset that why didn't he just run Muddy Water on top of that too? Like, just
Yeah.
like
So
go all in.
it was
go half
actually
speed.
it was shown on stream.
Why is he spin? Yeah, I was like, why is he rapid spin? And then he self-hit himself, and I was like, never mind, I'm gonna shut my mouth.
Yeah,
funny.
side rapid spin into the Annihilate to give it a Rage Fist stack, all the while boosting the speed of your Tatsugiri. I don't even know if the speed is necessarily a bonus. It's just a nice move to hit your Annihilate with.
I think this team is extremely well built. I am not accepting any slander
I
here.
think it's hilarious.
So
I do agree with Wildlands though.
The
It's
first
trash.
game on stream, the second day, featured this team. And it was actually so close to taking the win. It actually got crit out in the third game. It was so sad to watch, but they side rap and spin that game. The opponent, there was some really legendary turns. Like one turn, the Squawk ability switches in against the opposing Annihilate, gives it the Defiant boost, and then on the same turn, the opponent side clear smogged with their Amoonguss because they were like, I'm just gonna give my Annihilate a Rage Fist stack with clear smog. And they cleared away the Defiant boost. It was honestly like an all-timer. Me and Kudal were watching it in call together, and we were just cracking up. It was one of the funniest sets, maybe the funniest set I've ever seen. And I definitely recommend people go back and watch that on Victory Road's stream.
I think this team is so well built.
The best
I'm
part
not
about
even shading it.
The best part about the match was that they were talking about how it was wide lens to Dunsparce, and the first rock slide it went for on stream, it missed.
That's incredible. Oh my god.
It only with wide lens. It's the same thing with Talonflame. You put wide lens on, you're gonna miss more often.
I will admit that and I actually went and played some games on the Showdown ladder with this because I was like, this is too funny, I gotta try it. The one thing that I think is very important to note about the success of this team is that Annihilate is definitely the best win condition Pokemon on the team, because Annihilate is a really good Pokemon behind screens, or if your opponent is only able to get off one move, normally that's not going to be enough for dealing with Annihilate. Annihilate is a Pokemon you have to double into to take it out, and if you're not taking it out and you're just hitting it once, that's a Rage Fist stack, and then that's another Rage Fist stack, or it's going to start Drain Punching and healing. And so with a team that's aiming to either bulk up with the screens or deny as many turns as possible, Annihilate is a really good Pokemon to be, achieving that with. It's going to actually get the job done.
Another similar choice could be potentially like Goldango, right? Or just like if you're just, I fully agree in that respect. Like you're denying all the turns.
Mm-hmm.
Your payout mon has to be worth it, and Annihilate is a huge payout mon.
That's fair.
Yeah, Lexar. So I was talking with John, who in call about Staraptor versus the guy, and I was like, it can't be that bad. And it turns out Staraptor, which has like 480 BST, it's not great. Has still got like 70 more BST on Squawkability. This thing's like,
oh my god,
it's like 410. And the only difference is it's like lower in all of the stat department except for it's got Parting Shot. Parting Shot.
It also has way better hair. It has many more EVs in hair.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Aesthetics. Actually, is that even that true?
Eccentric values.
Staraptor has pretty.
Staraptor has like the sharp hair. Squawka William has like the confident hair.
Stop calling it that.
It does actually. I honestly don't even know if it beats Staraptor in the hair game that hard. Maybe I could.
I don't know. I think
win,
Squawka William.
But
Squawka William's got to do.
It was not. It was not a 2-0.
I appreciate the agency reference in the nickname though on this guy's team, Green Chain.
Are you a Blunder fan?
I'm a Blunder fan, but I don't. I actually.
Is he not the agency?
He's gonna have to rep the agency here.
He's repping the swag.
I got the agency hoodie.
It's probably in your coat rack over there.
So
agency.
Now that we mentioned that team, I think there was actually also a Serena mirror on stream, which was funny.
Nice.
But that's I think all I want to say about Malmo, because we got to make sure we have enough time to move on and talk about Hartford, the one that you guys actually attended. So the last thing I want to say about Malmo was at a certain point on the official stream, I was just kind of tabbing in and out. I turned back in and I saw like the Malmo casters on the official Pokemon stream, and I was like, what? And yeah, it turns out that they like were rebroadcasting some.
Yeah, I was gonna mention some of that.
Some earlier footage, because like the tournament had concluded, and in this footage that I was watching, they were talking about like predicting the winner and stuff like that. And so it was like not like live footage of them, but it was still like so cool to see a Victory Road stream make it onto the official stream.
Yeah.
That is that's
I
awesome.
think that as a full I really do think that they've taken a lot more risks with the live, like a lot more like concessions or things that they wouldn't have necessarily done for the official stream like this season than previous seasons, and I love that. I think they've been really doing a great job working on making the stream more accessible and like more fun to watch and killing downtime.
Yeah, I agree with that. I got to play Pokemon Pictionary for 40 minutes on a stream broadcast.
Oh yeah, that's been kind of funny. Also,
they should do that more.
Nerd of Now mentioned that they pulled up the Nimbasa City post. That's actually really cool. I definitely
really?
love.
That's awesome. Like really acknowledging that the community is who has like the resources this year are community resources. They're not official resources. Top Gun Explorer, Nimbasa, VR, the cool like live thing, like all these things are community resources, and they've been made. They've actively made this year of Pokemon, I think, like one of the most competitive years in terms of just like people being good, right? Like, I think people are just really good now because they have all this info, and like I think the streamers knows that, and that's cool.
They apparently did that with the TCG stream with Limitless. That's awesome. That is just so cool to hear. I'm loving that they're supporting like the grassroots, I guess, like the outside third party company, whatever word you want to use. It's really cool that they are respecting the work that they put in, especially because like I mean personally I prefer the Victory Road streams mainly because they like have really cool layouts. They put that extra information on, like you get to see the team sheet before the matches. It really helps understand what's going to be going on in the game. And so yeah, I think Victory Road, like they create a very quality product, and to see them on the official stream is like they deserve it, you know. So really really cool. Yeah, with that, let's move on to talking about Hartford, the tournament that you guys actually attended.
I didn't attend.
Well, you are one of the Hartford champions.
Hartford.
I did not attend the regional. Let me tell you.
Okay.
But you were premier. What's better than regional premier?
That's true. It is an adjective.
So we actually saw another Tang win. Shilang Tang won over Ryan Haig in the finals, with a team of King Gambit, Fluttermane, Arcanine, Chenpao, Dragonite, and Iron Bundle. And so I think we see a bit of a push towards like a different take on balance. I mean, like you wouldn't say this is hyper offense, but it's a bit more offensive than some of the more balanced teams. The Amoongus is being left out here. Bundle is a bit more aggressive than defensive, as opposed to like Palafin or a Gyarados. But still, this team can definitely take some hits. Multi-scale Dragonite, Assault Vest, King Gambit,
Yeah.
Arcanine. These are all Pokemon that are there to be the switch-ins.
From experience. Oh, I don't mean to cut you off, Alex.
No, I didn't really have anything else to say. Go ahead.
I would say from experience, I know this Iron Bundle is bulky, so it's most likely that a lot of these Pokemon are trained in. I would say kind of way I like to build teams is where you build a lot of offensively aggressive Pokemon, and you give them the bulk to withstand a lot of hits. I believe like this Iron Bundle is very bulky. Probably a lot of these Pokemon are very bulky. The Fluttermane most likely is. So like if they're not bulky with something like Multiscale or Intimidate, they're generally probably going to be able to withstand a hit on their own just to keep them in the game.
Yeah, their version was definitely much more aggressive.
Yeah,
So
it does
was a
have.
very
Yeah,
solid
isn't this like
team.
very close to your team though? So
Yeah, mine was a little bit more I guess you could say mine was more closer to balance.
You have,
Theirs
Yours
was
is like way
like
more grounded.
it was just like boom, just damage, damage, damage.
Yeah, Sohaib doesn't
everywhere.
have the two choice items, the choice band Dragonite or the choice specs on the Fluttermane. Sohaib did make it into the top 4, so congrats Sohaib.
Thank you.
With a 6 here of Chenpao, Dragonite, Amoongus, Fluttermane, Arcanine, and King Gambit. And so yeah, it was kind of a similar idea. Was there something about this this composition that is pretty close to the team that won that you thought was going to do well this weekend?
I'll be 100% honest. I did not prep for this tournament at all. I built this team like 2 days ago. All I knew was that Arcanine and Moongus. So, like I said, like Palafin was garbage. I felt like, and Iron Hands was just struggling. I just wasn't feeling it. I was like, it was not helping me in the backs balance as much. So I dropped those two, and then I was like, so I love King Gambit and Iron Hands. I like to have either one of them in my team if I could. I try my best to put them together, but they don't work together, unfortunately. So yeah, I went to King Gambit, and then I I was like, okay, so like teams are getting offensive, and I'm like, I don't want to sit there and play like just slow games. I just want to go damage, damage, damage. So that from there, I was just like, okay, the best set is the Luca set, of
Yeah.
SD goggles. So I was black glasses. I added that, and I'm like, okay. Then I just started like playing around with the damage calculator. I'm like, how can I make this damage more absurd? Then I was like, okay, let me add Chin Pao to this,
Nice. Okay.
and then those calcs just like became crazy, and I was like, okay, this is it. And then last was like the Sun matchup, and I was like, okay, Tinglu and like King Gambit don't really have the best synergy too. I was like, I dropped the Tinglu and I added the Dragonite there. And then I played like 20 games, 21 games on all of them on Showdown. Went from like 1680 to like 1850. And I was like, okay, this is enough Pokemon. Then I just turned on my laptop on like
Good
Wednesday
enough.
night or
That's awesome.
yeah, exactly. Wednesday night or Thursday, I just closed my laptop, and just the day before, I was like, okay, I need to like breed my Pokemon.
Yeah, that's what I do. I do the exact same thing.
Just
Yeah.
I love that.
Play like 10 games. Like, yeah, that's fine.
Honestly, I think most of the like my practice, whether it's like working or not, is like just making sure that I feel good about the team. I try not to feel.
Yeah.
I try not to reach some like arbitrary like I need to hit 1900 on Showdown or I need to have this GXE or this record. It's mostly like play enough games until I'm like this feels good. Yeah, no, like let's lock it in. Sometimes like
100%, yeah.
Sometimes I'll like win 3 games and I'm in the 1600s and I'm just like you know what? No, this seems ready.
It's vibes.
You gotta have the good vibes.
I say the funniest part about this is I like I'm friends with Kyle, And like one day we were in call, and he was just sitting there with like 3 other people, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm getting Wochen to 1900s. If it hits 1900s, I'm bringing it to Hartford." And lo and behold, right there, it's yeah, he brought it to Hartford.
There
But
it
like,
is.
I'm the complete opposite way. I'm just like you, Alex, where like I will literally just play games, and I'm like, yeah, this feels good. I'll just bring it. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah, this is the first time any of my team even went that high. Usually, like all my regional teams are like stuck at 1700, and I'm like, okay, this is good enough. Like ladder's fake anyway, so
Mhm.
100% agree.
Ladder is kind of just a different experience now, so I
Sick.
don't disagree that you just gotta feel good with the team. So I respect that. So let's jump back up really quick to Ryan's team. We kind of scrolled past that one. This one's actually Gavin's team. Again, I believe. I actually don't know if Gavin has brought the Golden Goat version to a major.
I don't think he has.
I think he used it, funnily enough, at a local in LA that he played against Ryan. Ryan was using Gavin's old version with the Arcanine, and
Is that what happened?
yeah, and
Yeah.
so and then Ryan was like, "Oh, I didn't realize there was an update. You didn't tell me there was an update," and then just takes that and goes get second with the new version. However, you gotta give credit where credit is due. The one thing that Gavin didn't have is this nasty plot, Goldengo.
Yeah, I think that's kind of based.
This is a
so
single.
funny on stream.
This is a singles set. This is something
Don't
that
talk
singles
to
teams
no. Don't say this right now.
What?
Don't talk about how cool Nasty Plot's trick Goldango was on stream. Do you not see the
no, dude,
present company?
it's all respect to Ryan. He played that game so well. Like the matchup was hard for me.
Look, Sohaib, it's fine. You can make fun of me getting bodied by Tang. I got
I
steamrolled,
don't even,
dog. Like,
dude, I got steamrolled too. He played so well. He like I had to like it was hard for me, and he just made it almost impossible for me to
there's
win
an
that first
alternate
time.
universe where like Shower Takes podcast is happening right now, and Tang and Ryan are the guests instead. And they're laughing about how they just like completely bodied us. Like,
Yup.
I hope not.
I gotta say that like I think it's a really cool set. It's something that like I feel like singles teams do where like
Awesome, yeah.
I feel like
They do that a lot. There's my experience has been trick setup Gothita and Little Cup.
Yeah, I was
Oh
gonna say
my
they use it on
God.
the. I was gonna say Gothitelle because like you shadow
Choice
trap
Scarf
something
trick,
in.
but
oh
I've
yeah, that was like
used
an Uber set.
Yes,
It was
yep.
the way you beat Pharaoh Seed and Munchlax and Bronzor. You trick them a Choice Scarf, you set up on them, and then you trick it back and then murder the rest of the mon. You're like, all right, you
So
borrow this
crazy.
for a little bit,
Give
and
it
I'm gonna take your
back.
back, and then smack the rest of you. It's pretty funny.
I also don't know if Gavin had the heavy slam Iron Hands.
It was
but
like
does seem to
trick,
be
psychic, calm
identified
mind,
as the-
like rest. It's such a silly set.
Yeah, I think Trick is a really cool move. That's a bit underutilized. It's definitely a good way
I
to
love
balance
Trick.
break when Goldango is already a good Pokemon at kind of balance breaking just because of that, good as gold ability. Yeah, other than that, some cool stuff. The Azu, I know, is able to achieve some really strong numbers with Terra Water in the rain. And this is a Sash Pelipper. We almost saw this like rain team that was Gavin inspired on both ends take both of the tournaments this weekend. So you gotta say, rain had a big showing this weekend. And it wasn't all across the board, but it made it deep.
Pelipper Flock, let's fly.
Pelipper Flock, let's fly. Wolf was using that 6 that I've been alluding to a lot. Eric used it. Wolf used it. And I think Wolf actually played against Brian Hume, who ended up at 9th on stream in a 6v6 mirror. Funnily enough, I'll double check this, but actually I don't feel like doing the quick check on it. But I believe the casters said that they had all different items, which is like really funny that you're playing a 6v6 mirror and all of the mons have different items.
Oh my God.
Because a lot of Pokemon do run like standard items. Like if you're playing a bundle mirror and they have different items, that's like pretty notable. There are Pokemon.
Do you know anything about bundle mirrors with different items, Alex?
I mean, I ran Covert Cloak, if that's what you're talking about.
That was what I was referring to.
Yeah, that was my like back to what we were talking about earlier. I don't opt into Tailwind mirrors. I hate the whole like I'm going to hit 600 speed. I'm like, you know what? I'll find my middle ground. But yeah, and so I don't really have a lot to say about Wolf's team except like as James was talking about earlier, like this is Balance 2. It's like the sequel to Balance. Like like you could run your Fire Water Grass Palafin, Arcanine. You can run your Fire Water Grass with these guys.
Now pull up Kyle's team. We have to see it.
Yeah, Kyle's team. I did pull it up, but we didn't talk about it yet. It's got the
yeah.
toxic Glamora. It's got the
What did the Glamora do?
It's got the it's honestly toxic. It needs to be canceled.
Yeah.
Leftovers Wochen. I didn't know what set it was gonna be. I was gonna guess like a Salt Vest or something because I was like, what? Why is it on a Tailwind team? What are we doing here?
Yeah, both Wochians had Talonflame on them, like on their teams.
Wait,
like
really?
What do you mean both Wochians, brother?
The one in Buenos Aires, they got finals.
Oh, Buenos Aires. Okay.
It had a Talonflame.
There's four Wochens here. None other on Tailwind teams. Yeah, this is more. This is more what I'm used to seeing. Like the stall team, you and Song, running that like super.
I tried that talk. Oh, remember that week of trying out that Toxapex stall?
Did we try it?
I tried it for like a week, or
it's hype
I thought about it for a week. I played a couple games with it because it was super unfun.
Jody played against this person in a past tournament on stream with his like Sun team and went like crazy on it. But I think that the Toxapex stall team is very fun.
When you said
fun
there were
fact,
wait, go on. My bad, Sohaib.
That Iron Thorns, no worries. That Iron Thorns team was the only team that beat me in Swiss day one.
Oh my god.
Only because like that. The TV for
okay, that's the same Toxapex set I had, but I had Black Sludge, so I could have 2 left over.
Dude, this name, Mecha Pickle.
What?
They named their Iron Thorns
Pickle.
Mecha Pickle.
That's pretty funny.
Slow Woe Guy.
Gawawados? I don't actually know how to say that one.
Yeah,
I love that we have the
Wawados.
nicknames. I love that it imports the nicknames. This is so sick. They showed nicknames on stream a couple times by accident, and like I think it was in Sohaib's set in the middle of it. They turned them off.
Yeah.
They asked you to turn it off.
We had a firm talking to after game one.
Wait, they put it on you? Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I mean,
both of us.
It is kind of your responsibility, but like also like I feel like they should just like give you like a little nudge, like, hey man, you gotta do it. Not like this is your fault. Like
I was gonna say, Sohaib, when that happened to me at EUIC, they completely blamed themselves for it. They were like,
oh really?
It's not your fault at all. It was completely our fault for missing it. What happened?
That's so.
They were like, oh, you're supposed to have it off, and I'm like, okay.
You know what, Sohaib, you're right. It is your fault.
So it looks like Eric Stewart also made it to top six. Top 7. Sorry, my bad. Made it to top 8.
It's only top 6. It's only top 6 when you're 6th seed.
Yeah.
It's Players Cup.
I got top 6 at Nats in 2015. Of course, I remember exactly what spot I finished.
The best top 6 in the game's history.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Eric Stewart got top 8 with the same 6 as we've been talking about. That alternate.
The top 6.
Yes. This isn't the new Big 6. That was something else we talked about earlier. And yeah, we've got James here.
Leftovers on this
I'm
one.
gonna make James wait. James 8th seed, I can make him wait. We got one more team to talk about, which was Dominique's team, which is the Neon
was first
team.
seed day 1.
Oh, that's true. Well,
were you?
Wait, what happened to your Reds?
I went 9-0, and then I was terrible day 2. But
but also your pairing luck was like kind of down there, I guess, too.
I was lucky enough to make.
Wait, hold on. Sakagam is Dominique Johnson. How about you talk about the team?
I didn't realize that this whole time you were just kind of sneaking in here as one of the people in cut. That's awesome. Well, congratulations to you.
I didn't even know that either.
I'm a big fan of this team. I've played it quite a bit with it. This team that's as they mentioned in their tweet, I saw was inspired by Neon. Neon, known ladder hero if you play on Showdown.
Ladder warrior.
Neon 922. If you see any account end in 922, it's the same person. It's Neon who frequently top 10s ladders with like 5 different accounts at a time.
And he loves Oranger.
And loves the monkey. Yeah, honestly though. This is
a hunky monkey.
It's a pretty fun team. Like this is Oranguru with no attacks. Encore to punish the
I love that confidence as well. I kept feeling forced when like every time I thought about Oranguru and other formats, like put Psychic or Foul Play or something on it because I felt dumb.
You did make some changes though. This isn't exactly as Neon had run it, I believe.
As Alex would know.
But I like this team. I played with the 6 and it is fun. It's just like it's a weird take on Trick Room, but It just kind of works in a weird, hard
This
to
was
explain
such a
way.
scary team.
Oh, did it use? I thought it was Terra Grass Tingler. Is that what you did, Alex?
That was a change I made. It was, I think, Terra Poison on the version that Neon posted.
Yeah, no, was it? Didn't the Oranguru have Bulldoze on his version? Or
Not on the
No.
one that was posted, no. But definitely,
Okay, I was
like,
gonna say.
definitely on ladder, it was Bulldoze
Yeah.
at different points and Psychic over Protect sometimes.
Yeah.
Because also Psychic technically can activate the weakness policy if you Terra Poison.
Oh yeah.
Interestingly enough. But
what's the point of proccing your own weakness policy? We can just Earthquake twice anyway.
a little bit. That's like
True.
basically doubling the damage. So
Yeah, it is.
yeah, it is.
Run clear amulet.
But
then.
but you have more chances to crit. So yeah, I think it's a very fun team. But yeah, let's go ahead and finally talk about James's team. James, I actually don't know what's new about your team. I can't remember what was on the last version.
All right, so we'll do a little mini.
Give us
Audi
the
team
quick one.
report.
This isn't a full team
Yeah,
report. You can do that with Audi later.
TLDR, I added Terra Steel on Garchomp. That was a decision that me and my friends were coming to like terms with for a long time. We were like, is it Terrafire or Terra Steel? I just decided to run Terra Steel at this event because I was like, I got 2 more events in this format left. I might as well experiment here and see what happens. So that was the choice on that. I changed Throat Chop on Chien-Pao to Sacred Sword, which was another thing that I should...
bro. He said speed it up. He didn't mean literally speed it
Oh
up.
no,
No,
I'm
no,
going
keep it
fast.
going. Keep
No,
it
no, no,
going.
no. It's lightning round. I changed Chien-Pao to Sacred Sword on the pre-notion. I was like, well, Throat Chop is useless. Haze is useless. Let's just run Sacred Sword because it's the best third move that I haven't tested yet. And it also seems pretty good into Iron Bundle, which was a problem for the team prior. And then I changed Iron Bundle to Terra Grass on the notion that Judy DM'd me asking me about the team, and he asked me what was Terra Ghost for, and I said it's for this and this, and he said I'm running Terra Grass right now, and then I was like, well, actually, yeah, I kind of like Terra Ghost just for like what I'm finding the situations that it needs to be in for, and then I thought about it more, and I was like, never mind, Judy's right, and then he texted me at like 3 a.m. saying that, oh, you convinced me on Terra Ghost, so we switched Terra types.
I actually did the same
funny.
thing with Jody at what was the first tournament? San Diego.
San Diego.
Yeah.
He did that to me too.
Yeah, so he went back to Terra Grass, but I found it like really funny. But
Jody's
yeah,
a
no.
notorious "you make the change, I won't" person.
So
Honestly,
yeah,
he did that to me.
I ran Terra Grass because conceptually it was really good into Dondozo, and I didn't want to lose to Dondozo after what happened in top 8 of UIC. I made a pact with myself. But I only ended up playing 1 Dozo the entire tournament, and it worked perfectly in that set. So those were the 3 changes that I made that mattered that you see right here.
Okay. So yeah, it was like not as many changes as I thought. I was like, I thought this seemed familiar, but also like somewhat new.
It was more to just like, I'm very comfortable with the team, but I want to experiment with a couple things, and this is a tournament, and I have more in the future, so let's just kind of see what works here. And then we'll take notes on it. And everything here worked great. So I'm not
all right.
I think your teams honestly, James, we were talking about honest teams, but like yours is a very honest team.
Oh, it's brutally honest.
Just like it's like I have this guy, I had this guy, I'm a smack with it. If I couldn't, I lose.
Yeah, I went into EUIC.
You have a Garchomp. Garchomp's like the most honest mod.
I was gonna say I went into this tournament and EUIC, and my goal was to Goldango 7 people. If I Goldango 7 people, I make it to day 2, and I can Goldango more people, and that's what happens.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is the one thing that separates your team from the other Tailwind teams. A lot of the Tailwind teams kind of look the same, and so I gotta give credit where credit is due. James's Tailwind team does look a bit different than the other ones. They also don't always opt in for Iron Hands. So some cool things here. I think Wolf did something similar to that early in the format.
I did take inspiration from his 6.
Yeah,
so
that does make a bit of sense.
If you go to my Fort Wayne team, it's like kind of similar. Like I was running Garchomp, Iron Hands, Goldango, and Chien-Pao like at that tournament, and then I was like, because like Wolf and Trailer ran something similar at the event. I was like, what did they do right that I wasn't doing?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Talonflame. That's it. It's like Talonflame's the Pokemon.
Got it.
Just
Okay.
kind of evolved into this. Like I know I think they ran Heavy Slam on Iron Hands at that tournament. That's where I got that idea
Big fan
from.
of that guy.
Yeah, and I started running it like at every event, and now it's kind of like picking up more and more usage, which I think is like great because I think Iron Hands is just like the truth. I think that Pokemon beats up everything in this format. But enough gloating about my team and how good.
Well, yeah. Now you can spend time. You can search for my name in the standings, Alex.
Link me the Premier Challenge results. So
For
yeah.
real, though. Unlike these people who like played well, I dropped from the tournament before they put the drop slips out. Like
I didn't know that.
I dropped literally at the. I brought some stupid worm thing. I've realized now that like I can take time off for tournaments, but I don't have the time. Like I can't prep for them effectively.
Man, I
It's
helped
just
with that
like
team, and I still think it's good.
I don't disagree that it's like game one, turn one was just like bad, and then like it just went downhill, and then I started 0-2, and I was like, okay, technically that can day two, but the best case scenario is I'm gonna win 4 or even 5 in a row and then lose. But then I started 0-2, so my Mickey Mouse run won't get points anyway, and I just don't have that in me right now.
No,
So I
think
dropped
that
at
it's
0-2.
totally fine.
I dropped at 0-2 before the drop slips went out. As soon as the game ended, game 2, round 2, I went to Amtrack.com. And I was like, I stayed. And then while these players were being successful in their lives, I went to the Premier Challenge. I deleted my team. I just used Nails' team, which we didn't talk about, but that's here somewhere.
Oh yeah, I guess I could have just pulled that up. I was
because it's actually pretty relevant.
It is important.
Here it is.
I ripped it verbatim, like, and then I won the Premier Challenge. Not the secret one that people were going to, but
the real one, okay?
I know, which was run extremely well. Shout outs TJ. We didn't have docs. It was 7 rounds, best of 1 Swiss into top 8 cut. No interruptions, no hiccups, no problems. It was very well done. So this seems kind of cool though. Nails made it. It's like just strong as hell, and all the mons do a lot.
Yeah,
I don't really know what else to say about that.
I was gonna say that's pretty much it. So one of my best friends, Alfredo Gonzalez, known Murkrow player. He uses a lot of things similar to this. Like a lot of my friends, like my really really close friends, love using Murkrow, and it makes me disappointed to be friends with them every day. But I like they run Murkrow a lot, so I oftentimes get a lot of like a glimpse into the insanity behind running Murkrow. But it's like a lot of these teams kind of just do devolve into this, where like you run Chi, you run your Great Tusk, you run your Flutterman, you run your Murkrow. And then you kind of just pick your additional Pokemon that you want to cause chaos next to the bunch. And I think Mousehold is a really interesting one.
So he was super funny.
Right,
he is so silly. Like that guy just
it just does things.
All these ones are too strong.
Yeah,
it is just like strong. I mean, Mouse and Murkrow have like low BSTs, but that's like fake because they have either a move that makes up for it completely in Population Bomb or an ability called Prankster.
Yeah, I think this team is what I hate the most about the format, to be completely honest.
Yep.
I think that's valid, but I think I would say I have a lot less fun with I think a team like this is like, it's very brutally honest, where like you are.
No, it's not. This is a scam team.
Well, no, I mean in the sense that you know what it's going to do.
It's straightforward.
Yeah, it's very straightforward. So like the matchup is like if you have one, you're going to know exactly what you need to do at all times.
No, I heavy disagree. This is a scam it up team. It is a scam it up team. It's like you said. The honest thing is you're at the damage ceiling, and hopefully your opponent's not.
Things are going to do a lot of damage, and you have to respect
you are pressing 100% accurate fissures with all your moves, and it's really stupid. But like the thing about some of these teams is there aren't like amazing recovery options. So like you really do need to be pretty good about team preview. Not to say that like that's not important for every team, but like you do need to know how the game is going to go like from turn 0 pretty aggressively.
I might just be biased because I get to run Tailwind with Pokemon like Iron Hands that get to claim board. Like they're like, okay, I'm clicking Fake Out and you can't stop me. And like offensive teams like that have.
I saw a good explanation of the concept, Rajan, on a team that is very similar, Lorcy's team, which I think is just a.
It's 4 for 6, I think.
No, it's 5 for 6.
I think it's just
5 for 6. Yeah, bundle's different.
It's just
bundle instead of the mouse. The mouse was so goated though.
And so yeah, the thing that Lorcy ended up tweeting is like Yeah, my team, like I made it to top 16 with a team that has no fairy resist. And like the thing that's just kind of funny is like as you were saying, the team doesn't have a backbone or anything. You know, it is just like
Just kill
I
everything.
Kill.
I have the best. I mean, the best defense is
My
strong
fairy
offense.
resist was Great Tusk being Choice Scarf and not setting up Sunny Day when they were Speed Booster. That was the fairy resist.
Yeah, exactly. You're the only way you're getting past that is by killing it.
Yeah.
And I mean
I
that's
did
I
just
respect
see
it.
DJ Khaled do a Papa John's ad. So that's who we're.
I saw that yesterday.
Oh, me too.
Uh,
Earlier today, saw that.
Sorry.
This is a
but,
weird sponsor.
Oh
But
wait,
yeah,
you
no,
guys are
it's
talking about
100%.
the ads that are being run. I
The
got
Papa
Hun-
Dia.
100% though. Like the team was sick. It was a lot. It was It was a lot more fun to play than I expected it to be. And I still hate it though. I hate every fiber. I hate every piece of it with every fiber of my being.
Listen, Rajan, I want you to be in Japan with us, so please just
I already
use
booked
whatever
the
nails
trip.
is
I'm
doing for
going.
you.
He's going,
I already
don't
booked the
worry.
trip.
Stop cooking. Somebody kick him out of
I
the
already
kitchen, man. And
Take
burn
your
his
pawn
kitchen
away
down.
from this man.
I already booked the trip.
Man, I gave him a reasonable team to run at this tournament. Okay, don't worry, Sohaib.
It was not
it was
it,
nothing
brother.
crazy. I don't have the heart to tell Russian that maybe he wasn't it.
No, dude, it was not it.
Oh,
Can I?
damn.
What do you?
Can I point?
Go ahead.
All right, I would say, can I point out the fact that Steven got top 16 at this tournament as well? Another like NJMY player. He was using I think the exact same team he got top 8 at Charlotte Regionals with, a Series 2 format or like a Regulation B format, by the way. Like I think it is exactly the same.
Yeah, that notable Thunderbolt Goldango, which is just.
I
like,
noticed.
what?
Like I noticed this earlier today when you like posted all like the results and stuff, and I went to go check them out. I was like, it really did just run it back like 2 months later.
I love that.
Like,
I do love that.
I think it's really funny. Like there are teams that just do work like this. Like
Tyranitar is the Ruin Mon here, so
yeah, Sand of Ruin.
Sand of Ruin, I love it. So yeah, I think there weren't any other teams that I was like dying to talk about from this tournament. And so I think with that we're going to move on to the last thing, which is of course I forgot to open up a tab for it. I have like 60,000 tabs open.
Drum roll.
The calc is always right. So
Is that what we named the segment?
yeah, what's wrong with that?
Nothing.
You just no fun. I'm never
We can name
inviting
it
you
the
I
back
calc
to
know.
the
is always
podcast.
wrong.
Never inviting you back. So
True.
So we're gonna be playing the calc is always right, where you have to guess the calc. Simply put. So we're going to be presenting different situations with without telling the answer, and you have to guess what number, a single like a number, I guess that's in the range. So for example, this Abomasco calc here is doing 34 to 41. If you guessed it was doing 36, you'd get the point. We don't actually track the points. It's just fun to see if you're right or not, and see if how on point you are with your calcs. I guess we'll start with I'm guessing everybody
Shut up, James. Get rid of that.
What do you mean? It's perfect.
It's
Let's-
not allowed.
What do
It's
you
not
mean?
easy. You can't run the calc.
I opened the team sheet and I see it has hidden power fighting.
That's true. All right, I guess let's start with James's and see if I can even put it into the thing.
I don't know if you can
I-
run that.
so-
Hidden
no,
power's
so
not a
what I-
move.
Yeah, no. So what I did is I changed close combat to 60 base power and special.
All right, I
That's
think that you can
stupid.
just click National Dex mode.
Okay,
I think
so
that also works. But
so,
yeah,
yeah.
go ahead and post that, or I'll grab it and post it in the Twitch chat.
Oh,
Go
I
ahead
can-
and read
I
it.
can
Go
do it.
ahead and say it out loud.
So you open up that team sheet on the PokemonShowdown.com and you go down to Great Tusk's Terra type and you see Hidden Power Fighting instead. And I thought, yeah, what if it could run that? So here's the calc. We have 252 special attack, Life Orb, Great Tusk, Hidden Power Fighting versus a Iron Bundle. Similar to how Tapu Bulu would throw on HP Fire to beat Kartana. We're doing.
I
this
have
now.
done that at events, many of them. I did that
Okay,
at Nats
the
in
difference
2017.
is that was maybe picking up the KO. This I don't know. I mean, we did at least invest in special attack. I don't know why Great Tusk is putting 252 in special attack, but
I didn't
guess it's-
invest in special
I
attack.
guess it's
on
time
the
to start
balloon.
doing some guesses. So
It's
Sohaib,
a-
Rajan, start thinking about it and let us know when you guys are ready to lock in.
A real Japan Nats qualifier set.
I've
that's
got
why
my
it's
number.
252.
So what's the count? Where are you posting it for Twitch chat? Oh, they did already. Okay.
No, they.
I think there's
it's-
like so
All right,
you guys should
I
just
have
say the-
mine.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna do 89.
All right, Sohaib.
So I can just say the percentage, or do I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to,
that's what
like,
we're saying,
say
the percentage, and then you just pick a
Yeah.
single number that hopefully falls within the range.
I think there's an 85% chance to KO, probably.
No, not the KO chance. The
Yeah, like
okay.
the range.
does it do 85% damage? Or are you saying that it's a possible chance to KO?
Oh, okay. So it's probably going to do around 90% damage, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so did you just own me? Like in Price is Right. I just got destroyed.
No, it's you just
Or
have to
you-
get within the
or-
range. So
You just have to get within the range.
So you'll be fine.
Right,
It's a pointer now.
But now you're always gonna be closer than me.
Man, my original
It
number
doesn't
was
matter.
like
You're
so
both right.
low, but then I was like, we are life orb, and it is stab. So
Oh, it is stab.
Right?
It is stab.
but I still think we're overestimating. So I'll go on the underside and say 80%. So let's go ahead and type it in. I'm gonna go ahead and calc this for us. We're gonna throw a life orb on this. Is hidden power in the national thing?
It should be, right?
Oh, it is not. I thought it would be. All right, so then
Close combat.
close
with-
combat is now a special move with 60 base power. You did say this was neutral nature, right? Oh, so
It's-
we're like
Yeah, it's timid.
we're a timid tusk with
Timid toss.
250.
Oh, it's timid. Hold on then.
It's
Hold
timid.
on.
That changes everything.
I thought it was
Oh,
modest
did people
or
think it was?
something.
Yeah, oh, did people think it was attack boosting?
Well, it would
No,
never be that.
yeah, I thought it was
just
like-
be- it would just be neutral nature in this
You need to be
context.
fast. Yeah.
All right, I
Needs to
think
have
we
that max-
finished
Then-
running the calc, James.
I think-
Did you have a force spit F? You did have a force spit F.
Yes. it
Does
is
this
force
look
fit.
correct?
89.
it
That's
is
what I
correct.
said.
Yeah, Rajan said 89. I was like, God damn
Wait,
it.
wait,
Like-
did you say 89? Then Rajan
I
lost.
said 89 on the
Hey.
dot.
Oh yeah, wait, it's 89.
Oh no!
It's
I
89.3.
got
You don't get the
What the-
point.
Yes.
But then I was right?
You
That
were
was
right,
close
so
to
you
90.
got it in
Yeah,
there.
you said 95.
And I said
Okay,
that.
Oh, wow.
I understand I'm losing on a technicality, but I am taking the moral victory here.
You were
I
close,
did just,
so
like-
at the very least, your calc sense is not bad. Wow.
I said 89, brother. Like that's pretty sick.
Yeah, I think I'm in
Wait,
NatDex
you're-
mode.
Nerda now's here. He's like, let me fix it.
Right. No, I think I was in NatDex mode. Wait, what's changing? Which one?
Well, James, good poker face.
Thank you.
Oh, because
I-
yeah,
I-
NatDex mode has the mega Obama Snow. Yeah, so I think I was in.
I love that. Nerda now is so kind to me. Shout outs to him. I was like, I'm exclusively a mobile showdown builder and calcer, by the way, exclusively. And the thing that was very annoying was like scrolling for every like item or ability. And I asked if we could have like a type thing, and Nerda now did it. So thank you, my beautiful friend.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you very much. You specifically made my life better.
The damage calc is a very important resource.
I like
so.
the I like the implication that this made people's lives worse outside of you. like it was only to your benefit.
Yeah.
I also I like the commander button. I'm just glad that that's easy. Like we had some similar buttons in the past. Like maybe it wasn't a geomancer.
The only
There is
thing
an
is
Evo
maybe
boost.
Evo boost. There
maybe
it is.
if we
yeah.
were the only thing would be maybe if Dondozo is removed, the commander button default turns off.
Yeah, there's like small things, whatever. The calc's awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and move on
calc
to
is sick.
Sohaib. Sohaib, you want to present your calc?
Yeah, sure. So it's +2, 252, adamant, black glasses, Terra Dark, King Gambit, Sucker Punch into 252 plus bold, Terra Fairy, Flutter Mane.
Oh,
With-
You
geez.
forgot
Sort
the
of
sort of ruin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Sword of Ruin is.
Oh wow, so this one is
Yeah.
maybe from experience.
Yeah, this one's
Neat.
actually
All right, so I
Definitely.
yeah. No. Oh yeah. Okay.
He
that's
thinks-
fine.
It's
Hold on.
not spoiler, Russian. We're
Okay.
good.
All right, it's good. It's good. It looked like it was about to be. a
It's because
spoiler.
there's so much text.
It really
B
looks like.
thinks it's like a very very high.
So
like,
hold on.
100.
Wait, James. So you got to make sure that we all come up with their numbers and then we'll all present them.
I have my
Oh.
number. I got it.
Oh, all right. I was
believe
too
in this
busy copying
Pokemon.
it. And
Okay, I'm
not-
sorry. I didn't mean to.
You're good. You're good. I was too busy copying it, and not doing my mental calc. All right, I gotta think.
I believe in this one.
I think. Yeah, it's like kind of metagamey, but I have my number.
I believe in this one. I'm hitting it.
Okay. Yeah. So is everybody ready? James, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Rajan, are you ready?
I'm slamming 105. I believe in this one.
Okay, 105. James, what do you got?
I was gonna say like a very like high death, like probably like 130 to like 140 ish. I think this is not gonna take it at all. I think it's just gonna get hit by a truck.
I believe in this one. No, it's not gonna be a truck. It's gonna be a barely dead.
I'm like,
A Honda Civic.
my thought was that because the calc was presented as such that the Fluttermane lived, and yeah, I wanna say 98.
I believe in this guy.
And so yeah,
I think it
let's
just
go
gets
ahead.
mowed.
Let's go ahead and take the 10 minutes that's gonna take to plug this one in.
No, it doesn't get mowed, but it like gets
Sorry.
chewed up and
It
spit
gets
out.
trimmed.
Wait, Sohaib, are you actually max attack on it too?
Almost, yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh my
But
god.
he's
Well, then it's
I
just
was
a
just
lot.
like, I just want to kill stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not trying to like sit
Uh,
here and play 20 turns of talents.
I love it. Terra Dark, +2. Do I have
You're
everything on this guy
Terraflying right
besides
now.
I changed it to Dark, I think.
Okay.
You have to put black glasses on.
That's
Oh,
what
yeah,
okay, I'm
it's
missing the
AV.
item, and then I'll get the ruin after I put the other one in. Black Sludge, you said?
Black sludge.
Black glasses.
We'll make this thing...
Now a real agency reference.
250, yeah, I was thinking it. Okay. Gold.
Not
Fairy
bulky
Terra,
enough.
Terra Fairy, Sword of Ruin.
Yeah.
That's the bulky special. Okay.
Sucker Punch.
It is
Okay.
bulky.
All right, I got owned.
Sohaib, is this correct?
Oh!
90.7 to 107.4.
105.
Yeah, I got the roll against him.
No!
One of my opponents. He was
I
like,
believed in this
he
guy.
couldn't
wait,
believe
I
it
was
either.
looking at I was looking at Kotal. I'm stupid.
yeah,
I
it's
believed in it.
Oh, you thought you were...
Look at
Yeah, I was like,
you.
James, I thought you were out. You were definitely out. You were... Yeah.
No,
No, yeah,
okay.
I thought it was Kotal. I thought I wasn't thinking of Sucker Punch.
If I am
Oops.
shit at this game, I am hitting these calcs though.
Yeah, Rajan, you had...
I
thought you
bel-
said... You didn't say 110, you said 105? Yeah, you were right.
I said 105.
Hell yeah. And I had a 98, so I guess point for me and Rajan. It's always fun to have one from experience. I did not realize that this was just going to be a roll. I thought it was
Oh.
going to be capping out at around 98 or so,
Man, Fluttermane's stupid.
which
Why
is stupid. I
can't
guess
it
I'm
live
supposed
I-
to pick a number that's supposed
Why
to
can
be
it live
but,
this?
but that's
No, I
my
believe in
opponent's
this
face was
guy.
like priceless, honestly.
It's a
He
Pokemon
could not
base
believe
with
that.
55 in both stats, and King David has 135 attack. What is happening here?
yeah, that is
And he's
so
a
funny.
+2 and Terrador.
EVs are
and the
important.
Sword of Ruin.
Fluttermane is probably the Pokemon that like just is the most likely to become a different Pokemon based off your EV spread.
It
It's
just
very
got-
annoying.
Why does it get away with it? Like,
It's so funny. Okay,
Pokemon
let's
is
go
stupid.
to Rajan's calc.
All right, mine is -1, 252 adamant attack, technician, mousehold, population bomb, 10 hits versus 28 4 roaring moon. I will post that. Yeah, he got it.
I just got it.
okay.
So I
Wow. Okay, so this is the this is another
now
one
I
that's from
will say
experience,
this is a
right?
little rude for you all. Is that multi-hit moves are kind of messed up for the purposes of like
Calking.
the display. Like it will show the min hit 10 times, so the range is a little bit awkward. So let's like we're gonna have to fudge that a little bit.
Sure.
Okay. I have my number.
Man, Roaring Moon is not okay.
28-4 is like this bulk that you have when you're max speed jolly.
Yes.
And then as much attack as you can have to have the speed booster energy.
All right, I've got my number. So, are you locked in?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and start with
102%.
you then.
Sorry about that.
You're
I
good.
thought you were asking me. 102% damage.
That was my number. Oh God. Okay.
Oh, really?
We're all on the
Do I
same
go
page.
over or under him? I guess I'm going over. So I'll pick 103 because we were in fact the same number, but I'll pick 103. Rajan or no, Rajan's the one asking. James.
So I think at minimum it's doing like 98%, and like at max it's doing like probably 115. So I'll go with like 107.
107, right in the middle there.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a high end, yeah.
All right. And this is a mousehold with
Yeah, like the min and max is like, as Renata was saying, is like 100. Like it is right. That just doesn't work. So you kind of just look at like the middle ranges and like do the math in your head and fudge it a little bit. So that's why I'm saying it's a little unfair for this game because the ranges are like not really
big.
realistic.
Yeah.
It's not realistic.
Oh my god.
No, you're not -1. You're not -1.
I am.
It still just died.
It is.
though.
I am -1.
He was.
It
Oh,
is
he was.
-1.
Oh, he wasn't -1 when I saw. Or
Yeah,
have you been
easy.
streaming this like in our call? I haven't looked at it.
I'm not
all get
streaming to the
point.
call. No, you're gonna have to see the delay, I'm guessing.
Very easy
You all-
money. I said
You
nice.
all get the points, but like this mon is so.
It's a pretty
dumb.
generous one, I guess, is what you're saying.
Yeah, because like 19 times 10, like if you get the mid like this low regular roll, that's doing 190, right?
Mhm.
So like you just have to kind of think about it that way. So this mon is so dumb. It is so strong.
You assume you don't crit any of those 110.
And that's what happened. First time I used Nick's team, they had a roaring moon on the
Oh, wait a
field. They had
minute.
like 3 ghost types, and I still bring the mouse.
Rajan.
And like I
Okay.
want to stop Tailwind. And then they switch it to Gyarados. I'm intimidated. I don't Terra, and it's just dead. I just looked at it and it died.
Look at Nick's guess in the chat, Rajan.
120k. Oh, that's you got owned the way I got owned about the stupid hidden power fighting.
He was 0.5 off. And
What do you
it's
mean
his own mod.
stupid? It's real.
I was
So-
0.3 off for that.
Yeah, you were. All right. I'm the last one, and I forgot to give the context for mine. What tournament was this from? It was from Hartford. Top 64. There's a totally normal looking Psy Spam team, except wait a minute, what's that? Giga Impact
Oh
for
my
Fire.
god. Oh, I know where this one's going.
No, we're not doing anything crazy. It's actually another bundle being beaten down, but it's just how much is this Grafii doing to bundle?
I had a
Impact.
friend who played this. They're like.
Wait, that's so funny. It's stab. I didn't even think about that.
We did not Terra. Notably, a lot of these calcs often include Terra. We did not.
I
didn't
have
include
my
Terra.
number. I have my number.
All right, James is
Okay.
ready.
I'm so ready.
I'm good.
Rajan's locked in.
110%. Okay. Oh, sorry.
You're good.
I
You're
keep
good. I
saying that.
think you were the last one. So
Yeah.
you're locking in at 110. Rajan,
85.
85. Okay, a little lower. James, where are you gonna be?
Don't believe in him.
No.
I think it only gets there with Terra normal. I'm gonna be confident and say that it does probably around like 90%.
Okay.
I think it's a Terra normal mon too. I don't believe in the graph.
I have a feeling he's adamant and just
Oh,
balling.
I know
it's
he's
adamant,
adamant. I
right?
still don't believe in him.
So
I say it only has
I-
like if I remember correctly. Oh wait, no, it's got 95 attack. Damn.
You have to put the 4 in HP, Alex. What are you doing?
Did I have 4 in HP on the?
No, it's. I would say
No,
I
it's
ran.
zero
I
HP.
run. I runs 4 in Spadef. When I.
All right, fine. It's a 4 Spadef bundle. I'll give it to you.
The Calc has it at that, and I went and plugged
Alright,
this
it's
in because I
fine.
was like, I need to know how much. What are you?
I
doing?
don't believe in this mon at all.
161 attack. Great Tusk just hits that like casually with no investment.
I think it's not a lot of steps. I think we already got the Calc in.
Yeah, you're already there. You just got to.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, I actually was thinking James might have been out of the range, but no, he is. In.
Yeah, 85. I did not believe in this mon at all.
Rajan nailed it. He got it like dead in the
I
center.
really overestimated
James
him.
definitely in there, and yeah, I was. So the thing is if I put the Terra normal on, everybody would be like, "Yeah, it's killing." I know
Dead.
that. But
Do the Terra normal. I'm curious how
So,
much it does.
I was gonna
Paranormal's
say,
gonna be like 100 min. I
I do
agree with
know
that one.
Terra Normal kills because Wackup played this guy and he got Giga impacted and like his belly bolt got O-code. So I was like, oh, Bundle's definitely not aimed at
Yeah,
that.
105. I'm so good at everything.
you said
I
100.
do.
All right, did you
Oh,
change?
all right, fine. I thought I said 105. But either way, like,
Oh.
I this one sucks. I did not believe in him one bit.
Well, to be fair, Bundle does have like a 114 defense. It's got low.
Yeah,
HP as well.
Yeah,
I
for
don't even
no
care.
reason, this
guy,
Pokemon just has 114 defense.
this guy's trash, bro. There was no chance it was killed.
Yeah, I honestly like the thing that surprised me the most about this is like my Dynamax brain was kind of like, okay, that's okay. No, you're just taking a turn off on your stupid Grafaiai? Is that allowed? I don't think so. Why
No,
is this
but,
the
like-
why is this the payout?
Okay, but no, like, think about it. Like, if it's Fluttermane next to you, like, what is Fluttermane doing to this guy? It's normal poison.
It's two-shotting it with Moonblast despite...
Yeah, no,
it has Psychic Seed.
It does have Psychic Seed. Okay.
It has Psychic Seed, Rajan.
Despite Psychic Seed.
Maybe it's a
Terra
mon
Fairy
like,
Blast is doing 55%.
All right,
Put
you
that
know
in the
what?
calc.
It's a time for
This is
a
so
surprise
crazy.
impromptu. The calc is always right.
Oh,
How much is
it's like the
Grafaiai
daily.
taking? Yeah, it is
It's the daily double.
It is the daily double. All right, I'm assuming no bulk because it's probably invested in offense and speed.
No, it's right,
Daily-
252
daily
HP.
double.
Oh,
Yeah.
we are not
like-
Terra. I mean, we're saying besides.
Oh, we're saying how much
Oh.
is Gunk Shot due to just like normal Fluttermane?
No. I just want.
No,
Rajan was saying that,
don't tear the graph. Don't tear the graph.
We're not Terra. Rajan, it's doing less than half to our no bulk +1 giraffe.
Yeah,
or not
this
giraffe.
guy's
Grafaiai.
super.
Look at it. We're
What?
eating. We're eating.
I said 55.
Actually.
You and
Shut up,
also
man.
You didn't tear. I said 55, and I said Terra the Fairy.
Oh, I didn't Terra the Fairy Flutter.
Why are you spending 2 turns doubling into this Grafaiai with your Fluttermane?
Yeah, it sounds like you
All right.
lost, bro.
See, that's the
All right,
trick.
fine. I don't care. And
They could just
in my
use your
head,
Terra Fairy.
it was 252 HP graph, and we Terra Fairied the Fluttermane.
But they will gunk shot you. Read your Terra Fairy and just gunk
Yeah.
shot.
Honestly,
How,
true.
how,
They
much-
could
how much
jump
does the
that.
Gunk Shot do? It's
A
gotta like.
lot.
It's gotta
Probably
be
gonna
close.
KO,
I
yeah.
would say it's gotta be close to knocking out. There's no way.
In my head, I've gotten all 5 of these calcs right.
Oh my god.
So that's gonna be it for this one. I actually wanted to mention one last thing, just a small tidbit about Hartford that I forgot to include in this was apparently Tom glitched and paired Nails against Gramgus for a second time in day 2. I thought that was
that the
pretty cool.
repair?
Yeah, there was a
Like, we had to-
repair. Yeah, and
Yeah,
because they were
okay.
about to play each other for the second time in day 2. Like, you can
my
play a person
God.
multiple times. I think Wolf actually played against Shilling Tang 3 times across the tournament and just got bopped every time.
That happened to me in Europe. I played
and-
the same guy 3 times.
Yeah, it is allowed to happen if you have a day 2 Swiss and you play them again in cut, but yeah, you can't play them twice in the same set of Swiss. The Tom is not supposed to do that. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this one. So appreciate James, Sohaib, Rajan for all you guys for coming on.
A lot of fun.
Yeah,
You will
thanks
not
for
see
having
me
us on.
again this year. So
We're definitely gonna have to have you guys back at some point.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, let's I think we'll probably throw it over to Wally. Rate him. It looks like he's playing some ladder with Dragonite Chen-Pao. I think that was a big winner from this weekend, so that's a good team to get some more viewing in on. I should remind you guys before you go though that this is going to be on YouTube. I'll plug that again. Let me go do it over here on this one. It's gonna be up on YouTube on Wednesday. So if you got in here late and you didn't catch the beginning of the stream, go to Audie's YouTube channel, CK49, if you want to catch the whole thing. And with that, I think that's gonna do it for us. Thank you for hanging out, and we'll see you guys next time.
a lot of fun.